thank you.
Nice vacation?
Wonderful. Tell me, how's my favorite person in all the world?
Oh, Chief, I don't know what to say.
Well, just tell me how he is. Mr. Clampett.
Oh, fine. Granny and Jethro are on a little visit back to the hills.
What?
Oh, it's all right. Mr. Clampett is still here.
And there's money?
Still here. Ellie Mae's still here, too.
Good.
She's doing the cooking.
Ellie is cooking?
Yes.
Well, quick, we've got to get up there.
Why?
Mr. Clampett might eat some.
Well, sit down, Paul. Everything's ready. I've been cooking all morning.
You have, huh?
Yes, sir. I want a big batch of pork chops and homemade biscuits and gravy.
Well, see now. That's a pretty fair-looking done-to-a-turn pork chop.
That's a biscuit. This is the pork chops in this dish with the cover on it. How many would you like?
Well, I believe I'll start out with a couple of these biscuits. You didn't set a place for yourself.
Well, it's a funny thing, Paul. Being in the kitchen so much just kind of took my appetite. When I cook it, I don't care too much to eat it.
Ellie, you know, a girl as pretty as you oughtn't to waste your time cooking.
I don't mind, Paul, now that I'm getting good at it. Well, I'll fetch you some gravy.
Fine.
Would you like it on your biscuit?
All right. Kind of set up on you, too.
I know how you like your gravy thick. Paul, you sure put that away.
Oh, yeah, I did. Well, that was some meal.
Bet you're an eater.
Well, now, Ellie, I ain't really very hungry.
Chocolate sauce on it.
Chocolate sauce, huh?
Yeah, and I know how you like that.
I do for a fact. Well, fetch it up. Well, doggy.
I'll dash around back. Oh, I hope you're not too late.
Chief, you're over-dramatizing the situation. Ellie's cooking isn't that bad. Why, I remember a meatloaf she cooked once. It was... Oh, I hope we're not too late.
By doggy, that was a mighty tasty dessert.
Well, I guess you wasn't just funny when you said what you did about chocolate sauce.
What'd I say?
Well, you always said you could eat sawdust if it had chocolate sauce on it.
Hey, mate, you didn't feed me chocolate-covered sawdust, did you?
Of course not, Paul.
Good.
That was last night's meatloaf.
Meatloaf?
Remember, you said it was so good you was going to save it for dessert.
Am I too late?
Afraid so.
Okay, Miss Jane, there's a whole dish of pork chops here.
We got company. Why don't you run up and put on a nice, pretty dress?
Oh, yes, sir, Paul.
Mr. Clampett, are you all right?
Sure, I'm fine, thanks. Glad to see you back, Mr. Drysdale.
I just heard about Ellie cooking. Miss Hathaway should have told you to take your meals out.
Well, I have been taking them out and burying them.
What are you living on?
Well, Granny left enough victuals for a couple of weeks, but since that run out, it's been mostly roots and berries. And there is a squirrel I'm right beholden to for nuts.
That's terrible.
That's all right. I'll make it up to him.
No, starting right now, you're eating at my house.
Well, that's awful nice of you, but I wouldn't want to hurt Ellie's feelings. She's trying her best. Besides, I look for Granny and Jethro back any time now.
Did you arrange their transportation?
Well, no, Mr. Clampett said it had been taken care of.
Oh, they're traveling first class, of course.
Oh, sure. They took the truck.
They should be flying.
They probably are. You can't go too fast for Granny.
Come on, Jethro, we're getting close to home. Faster, faster. Come on, boy, we're put near to the top of the hill. Hurry on.
Granny, if I give out, this thing will roll back on me.
No, it won't. I got the brake on.
Well, let it off. Let it off.
Did I take it out of gear, too?
Yeah. Yeah.
fret over me, but I'll hold out till Granny and...
Put on the brake, Granny.
Hot doggies, I believe that's them now.
I'm tired of your backseat driving.
Truck sure is running quiet. Where's your Granny?
Right here. Where I got stowed when that loudmouth smacked into Miss Jane's car.
Granny!
Why didn't you put on your brake?
I couldn't reach him. I was running alongside, hanging onto the steering wheel.
Boy, that ain't no way to drive.
But Uncle Jed,
You might have hurt your Granny pitching her 10, 12 feet like that.
But Uncle Jed,
And look at your shoes. You done wore them clean down to your pink socks.
what pink socks? Them's my feet.
Call himself a driver. The minute he takes the wheel, wham, he smacks into something.
Now, Granny, the boy has learned his lesson. From now on, he's going to drive sitting in the seat like other folks.
But Uncle Jed, I wasn't driving, I was pushing.
Pushing?
Yes, sir, Miss Jane. Been pushing ever since the truck give out on us at the city limits.
Los Angeles or Beverly Hills?
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
Why, that's 50 miles.
Yeah, thank goodness it was all freeway.
That's it. I set it right down there, boys. Thank you. Where's Jethro?
He's going to finish unloading the truck, Granny.
Fine, fine. Now gather round. There's presents for everybody. Now the first is for Ellie Mae.
Oh, thank you, Granny.
It's from your Aunt Pearl. It's a party dress. Pearl sewed it all by hand, every stitch.
Earl's Modis.
Let's see it, Ellie.
It is for a fact, Ellie.
That's a Pearl Bodine original. You won't never see another dress like that. No place.
I believe you.
It is absolutely fabulous.
Run upstairs and try it on.
Oh, yes, sir, Pa.
Pretty, ain't it?
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. That Pearl is a genius.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Miss Jane, 'cause Pearl sent you something, too.
A dress?
No, but it's a Pearl Bodine original. It's a hat. Here it is.
Ain't that a world beater?
Pearl kept it simple so you could wear it to the bank.
And she will. She will.
I don't know what to say.
Right on, Miss Jane.
Yeah, let's see what it does for you.
Oh, well, my hair's
Oh,
from
now, come on. Give us a treat.
Ride's a little low, don't you think, Granny?
Well, Pearl didn't know her size, but she can pad it out with tissue paper.
Well, it is lovely. I'll write Pearl a note and thank her.
You know, Mr. Drysdale, Pearl has never made nothing for me.
Oh, what a shame.
Until now. She has took up making hand-painted neckties. One for you, Mr. Drysdale. And one for you, Chet.
Doggies. Did Pearl paint this?
She sure did. Free hand. No tracing or nothing. And you don't have to worry about getting caught in the rain. That is genuine outdoor barn paint.
It's well, she shouldn't have done it.
Pearl has a favor to ask of you.
She has?
Well, you see, she's right anxious to know how city folks takes to these. And she'd like it a heap if you'd wear yours to the bank.
Oh, you will.
Will you?
Granny, you're embarrassing Mr. Drysdale to ask him a question like that. He's our friend and our neighbor. You know he'll do it.
Sure, of course. Well, Miss Hathaway, we'd better be going.
Oh, just a minute. I got another present I brung you. I picked it out myself. It's for your office.
Souvenir. Snyder Swamp.
That's the big health resort back in our neck of the woods.
Folks come from miles around to take the cure.
Cure for what?
You know, Jed?
Oh, but it must work. Nobody ever comes back.
Well, thanks again for these lovely gifts.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Glad you like them. Don't you want to see what else I brought from home?
Another time, Granny.
Oh, would you leave the door open, Miss Jane? I gotta ask Granny where she wants her sorghum.
Is that thing full of sorghum?
Oh, yes, sir. 60 gallons.
It must weigh a ton.
Oh, no, ma'am. Only 600 or 700 pounds, but it's kind of clumsy. And I'm pooped from pushing that truck.
There it is, Dad. A telephone.
Granny, we got telephones all over the house.
Not like this, and you ain't. Looky here.
Granny, where do you want your sorghum?
Solid oak. Not only is it built better, but with these new phones, you don't have to dial. All you do is turn the crank, lift up the receiver, and say, hello, Central, give me so-and-so. I never knowed anything could be so much enjoyment. Why, back to Pearls, I used to spend 10 to 12 hours a day on this thing.
It's a heap of talking.
I was listening. It's what you call a party line.
Jethro, what are you doing?
Get up from there, boy.
Yeah, that's my sorghum barrel you're playing with.
If that thing was to bust open, we'd have an awful mess.
If you want to do something, connect up my new telephone.
Jethro do that?
He took it down at Pearls.
How do y'all like my party dress?
Oh, ain't you pretty?
What Pearl can do with a needle and thread just ain't to be believed.
We gotta have a party so Ellie can wear it.
Quick as I get my new telephone connected, I'll invite everybody on the line.
Hear that, boy? Hurry up. I thought I told you to get up from there. Come on, on your feet.
Looky that. He done wore himself out playing with that heavy barrel.
You be tuckered out after pushing a truck 50 miles on the freeway?
Well, we stayed pretty much in the slow lane. Ready? All right, no more playing. Take that barrel around back and connect up my telephone.
Well, come on, Jethro. I'll make you a meatloaf.
Never mind, Ellie. I just got my second wind.
What are you talking to, Granny?
Ain't talking to nobody.
Well, who are you listening to?
Ain't listening to nobody neither. Jethro still ain't got me connected up yet. Run outside, see
Good
if you...
news, Granny. Jethro's up the pole and he says that... You ain't cooking, are you, Ellie?
Oh, I'm fixing to, Paul. I figured I'd bake up a cake for the party.
Well, instead of that, why don't you run out to where Jethro's sitting on top of that pole?
Well, what for?
Well, I don't want no terrible accident to happen.
Oh, don't you worry, Paul. I won't let him fall off that pole.
That ain't the accident I had in mind.
When am I going to come in hearing something?
Any minute, Granny. You know, there's a heap of wires up on that pole for Jethro to choose from. How you coming, boy?
Fine, Uncle Jed. Granny's gonna have plenty to listen to. These old telephone wires is humming like a swarm of bees.
Granny, I don't know what you heard, but it must have been an earful.
Granny.
Excuse me, Chief.
Just a minute. Now, look, Margaret, I don't care how long the electricity has been off. I can't fix it. Call the power and light. My wife says the whole neighborhood is... Get that nightmare off your head.
Carpets are on their way up.
What? Oh, my time. Oh, put mine on. Here. Can we come in? Well, look who's here. We were just admiring our beautiful gifts.
Well, we're glad you like it.
Oh, now, what can we do for you?
Well, it seems that Granny here come back from the hills with a powerful hankering to have herself a party line telephone.
A what?
A party line telephone.
Party line telephone?
Jed, ask him about the party line telephone.
I just did, Granny.
Hey,
Yeah, I just did.
did what?
Ask him about the party line telephone.
Well, if you won't do it, I guess I'll have to. I'd like to have a party line darn telephone.
Has something gone wrong with Granny's hearing?
Yes, ma'am. You see, Pearl give Granny her telephone, but Jethro must have hooked it up wrong because it blowed up in Granny's ear.
Jed, tell him what happened to Pearl's telephone.
I just did.
Eh?
I just did.
Did what?
Tell him what happened to Pearl's telephone.
You see, Pearl give me her telephone, but Jethro must have connected it up wrong, because every time...
Granny, I told him.
Eh?
Mr. Clem, explain to us what happened with Pearl's telephone.
That's it. That's what I want. Can you get me one?
It's your pleasure a heap.
Well, I'll do my best.
What'd you say?
He said he'd do his best.
Eh?
His best.
Yeah. Looks real nice with Pearl's top. But what about the telephone?
He'll do it. Okay.
I'll do my...
Good. Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. And I'd like about 10 or 12 parties on the line. And see if you can get me Pearl's old ring. 3 shorts and a long.
Thanks again.
Chief, this is Beverly Hills. You'll never...
Oh, connect me with the telephone business office, please.
This is the home of private phones and unlisted numbers. You'll never get the Clampetts a party line.
Don't worry. The right threat can accomplish miracles.
You're going to threaten the telephone company?
No, I'm going to threaten you. Get them a party line or you're fired.
Hello?
That's a nice little walk down to the bank and back. We ought to do more of that, don't you think?
You know, Dad, that's a nice little walk down to the bank and back. I think the exercise helped my hearing.
Yeah.
Eh?
I should have known better than to depend on you.
But Chief,
What am I going to tell the Clampers when they want to know why? There they are. Your hat. Where's your hat?
Oh, it's in there.
Come in. Come in. I was just admiring this beautiful pillow. Can't wait to get to Snyder's Swamp.
Well, I won't hold you up long.
Who are you?
Well, I'm Mr. Kramer with the telephone company. The business office says you requested a party line.
Well, not for me. It's for this eccentric little lady. Oh.
I understand you want a party line.
No. She's not the one either. I'm talking about a real oddball character.
I see. But in any event, I have come to explain that the telephone company is unable to grant your request.
Baloney.
I beg your pardon?
It's no longer a request. It's a demand.
Demand?
Yes, my bank does a lot of business with the telephone company. Now, either you give the Clampetts a party line or you're going to lose a good customer. Now, drop that in your coin box and see what number you get.
Now, y'all wait right here while I go fetch Mr. Drysdale. And, Granny, I'd be much obliged if you'd stop your belly aching. Seems to me we got a whole heap to be grateful for tonight.
Name me something.
Well, Mr. Drysdale taking us all out to supper.
Yeah, we won't have to eat Ellie's cooking.
And Jethro's got the truck running again. You got your hearing back?
What good is it? I ain't got no party line to listen to.
Granny, don't you be throwing that up to Mr. Drysdale. He done his best. He went right to the wall for you. Don't you mean-mouth him no more.
Mr. Drysdale, he don't know nothing.
Mr. Drysdale, we ready to go to supper?
Oh, good. I'll have Miss Hathaway check our reservations.
Well, I didn't see her in her office.
Well, she's filling in on the switchboard.
Oh. Well, we sure do want to thank you for the scrap you put up over Granny's party line.
My pleasure. I showed the telephone company they can't push Milburn Drysdale around. Hello? Miss Hathaway?
Yes, Chief? Hello, Chief?
Miss Hathaway.
Oh, there you are. Archie. Yes, what is it?
Check my dinner reservation.
Yes, sir. Hold the hose, please.
Great little system. Saves a bundle. The only thing we haven't licked is long distance.
Beats me how Ellie Mae can make these donuts without using cement. Maybe she does use cement. Hello, Granny speaking. Oh, howdy, Miss Jane. How are you?
Fine, Granny. We've just received a telegram addressed to Ellie Mae Clampett in care of the bank. Shall I send it over?
No. Open it and read it to me. I've been waiting for that.
It's from the Savory Soup Company, and it says, oh, there must be some mistake. It says that Ellie Mae has won a cooking contest.
No, that ain't no mistake. I knowed Ellie would win that contest because I made the soup myself. Well, yeah, I reckon it is cheating a little, but I'm desperate to get this girl a husband, and winning that contest can do it.
Well, I sympathize with you, Granny, but won't Mr. Clampett object?
Of course he will. Getting him to swallow this will take a heap of sugar coating, but I'll have to call you back, Miss Jane. John Barrymore just walked in.
You see?
No, it ain't John Barrymore. It's Milton Sills. You're too young for Milton. Why, Jed Clampett, you handsome rascal.
Have you gotten into your rheumatism medicine?
Kid, I was only funning. But you are an uncommon handsome man. I often wondered how you stay single. But I reckon it's because Ellie Mae ain't married yet.
Granny, are you fixing to tell me something?
Not while you got that axe in your hand, I ain't. Jed, before I tell you, I want you to promise not to use no bad words on me.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Well, Ellie Mae has done won first prize in a cooking contest.
How?
That's a bad word. You broke your promise to me.
How could Ellie Mae win first prize in a cooking contest? That girl can't boil water.
She didn't win it for water. She won it for soup.
Soup?
Well, this company was looking for a new soup, and Ellie won it with Snyder's Surprise.
Now, Granny, you're the only one in this family can cook Snyder's Surprise.
Jed, what difference does it make? The winner will be on TV and get her pictures in the paper. And the men will be flocking around this place like crows in a corn husking.
Granny, it ain't honest.
Jed, I knew you'd be unreasonable.
Now, hold on. There's right and there's wrong. And this is wrong. Now, you get on that phone and call that soup company, and I'll tell Ellie Mae she's pulling out of the contest.
No, Jed. Don't do it, I'm warning you. It'll be a terrible shock to her. There's no telling what she might say.
I'm sorry, but Ellie Mae, you are pulling out of the cooking contest.
What cooking contest?
See, I warned you there's no telling what she might say.
What y'all talking about?
Never mind, Ellie, you've had a terrible shock. Now run along.
Yes, Granny.
No, stay here, Ellie. I want you to know what your granny's been up to.
Well, what, Granny?
I've been up to trying to get you a husband, that's what.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Well, never mind, Ellie. Run along like your granny said. I'll straighten this out with her.
Well, I sure hope you're gonna let her get them fellas for me.
Run on now. Now, Granny.
No! There it goes again. That terrible stabbing pain. I ain't long for this world, Jed.
You ain't, huh?
No. And I sure would like to see my granddaughter married before I go to my reward.
Slipping fast, are you?
Yeah. Everything's turning dark.
How long you think you got?
Not long, Jed. Not long.
Then get on the phone and call that soup company.
Jed, don't you want to see your daughter married?
Of course I do.
Well, that sweet innocent child don't know how to trap a husband. I got a heifer.
But it ain't right trapping him with your bait.
Beverly is done past the prime marrying age. We're dealing with a middle-aged woman.
I thought she was a sweet, innocent child.
Naturally, you're her father.
You call that soup company.
It's terrible to be an old woman. Nobody loves you. Folks all yell at you.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
I'm talking about Ellen. The Savory Soup Company.
This isn't the Savory Soup Company. Granny, is that you?
This is Granny. I just want to tell you that Ellie Mae Clampett can't win that contest because she didn't make Snyder surprised I did. Thank you. Goodbye.
What was that? Hello?
Granny, you done the right thing.
I think I did, too.
Granny, a fella just called me and said he was coming over to see me. Said he was from the Savory Soup Company.
Where's your paw?
Out front. Want me to go tell him?
No. I'll handle your paw.
Well, want to go and make some more donuts?
No! Oh, don't do that.
Well, Granny's going to expect something. Well, he just bragged about my cooking to beat the band.
Yeah. Well, we'll wade that creek when we get to it. Now, you go upstairs and take a nice hot lye soap bath and put on that dress I laid out for you whilst I get shed of your paw.
Well, why do you want to do that, Granny? Don't Pa want me to meet fellas and get spoke for and married up and all?
Of course he does, darling. It's just that men don't know how to manage things like this. You just trust your old granny.
I do, Granny.
I declare you are getting handsomer every minute.
All right, Granny, what are you up to this time?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jed. There is something you can do for me long as you're sitting down here with your gun and your dog.
What's that?
Shoot me some fresh bear meat.
In Beverly Hills?
Oh, no, I think you'd have to range out a little ways. Say to Utah.
Granny, I am staying right here.
That high-spirited animal can't be held back. He's got to go hunting or have a fit.
Granny, if it'll get you off our backs, Duke and me'll see can we jump you a few rabbits.
Not cottontails, Jed. Fetch me some jackrabbits. Them big rascals. Mountain jacks. The kind you have to find way back in the high country.
I don't like this, Miss Hathaway. I don't like it at all. Using this bank as a mail drop to fraudulently win a cooking contest. Oh, I'm very angry with you.
Chief, I told you Granny did it. Well, why yell at me?
But you don't think I'm crazy enough to yell at her, do you?
But, Chief, I'm sure Granny doesn't think she did anything fraudulent. She only...
Well, she did. And that's what this is. Out and out fraud. Granny cooked the soup. Ellie Mae won the... Does any money come with this?
No, just publicity.
Out and out fraud. And I will not let the bank get involved. Granny's got to be told in no uncertain terms to confess the truth, or I'll blow this contest wide open.
Chief, I'm sure you're going to make me tell her. Now, why are you putting your hat on?
Well, someone has to drive the getaway car.
How do you do? Is this a home of Ellie Mae Clampett?
You mean the rich, beautiful, young, unmarried girl that won the cooking contest with Snyder's Soup Prize Soup?
Yes.
No, this ain't her home.
It isn't?
It belongs to her pa. But she lives here. Come in.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Ellie's granny.
Well, I'm Stafford Clark of Savory Soup. This gentleman represents our advertising company.
Roger Dickaback. Dickaback, Breedlove, Burnett, Henderson, Postal Way, Johnson, Northcross, and Wesson.
By the time they call you for supper, you've done missed it.
That's my company name.
Well, excuse me if I treat you like family, because I'll never remember.
May we meet your granddaughter?
You mean the rich, beautiful, young, unmarried girl that won the contest?
Yes.
Follow me. She's out in the kitchen, as always. Just loves to cook, that young'un.
Say, how do you feel this? Young, wealthy girl, loves to cook, spends all of her time in the kitchen. Well, what's the catch?
I'm afraid we'll find out when we see her.
You mean?
She's got to be a real beetle.
It's a good thing I warned you. She sure is a sight, ain't she?
Roger, let's remember why we're here. Miss Clampett, I want to congratulate you for cooking the best shape soup.
Ellie, this is Mr. Clark.
Well, howdy.
You do.
And this fella's name is Roger. I can't recollect the rest of it.
Dickerback. How do you do?
Howdy.
Tell her your company name.
Dickerback, Breedlove, Burnett, Henderson, Postal Way, Johnson, North Cross, and Wesson.
How would you like to carve his headstone?
Miss Clampett, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you that I think that Snyder's Surprise is the most unusual and the most delicious soup I ever tasted.
Well, I like it, too.
Could you tell us how it's made?
I can't.
Oh, what she means is she can't tell you. But if you put her on television, she can show you.
Why, that's an excellent idea.
Granny, I ain't never...
Been on television, I know, honey. But I'll be right there, handing you things, helping you. That's all right with you, ain't it?
Well, I think I would prefer to use our own home economist, Sally Savory. Oh, she can help you.
Well, Granny's the only one that's ever made Snyder's Surprise.
What?
What she means is it's a family secret. Handed down, word of mouth. Now, could your Miss Savory stand there and hand Ellie a dab of this and a smidgen of that and a touch of something?
Well, I hardly think so.
Well, there you are. She needs me.
You ain't just a woofing, Granny.
What do you think, Roger?
Well, it might have commercial potential. Old family recipe kept secret for generations. Finally revealed to savory soup.
And we give it to the world.
Right.
Now, young lady, it looks to me like you're going to be on television.
Well, first of all, of course, you'll have to sign these releases and authorizations. She is 21.
She ain't no such thing. Why, that sweet child is just barely past 14.
14?
Oh, give or take a year or two.
Oh, well, I'm afraid then these papers will have to be signed by her mother and father.
Well, I ain't got no ma, and my pa ain't here neither. He's done gone to the high country.
Ain't that pitiful, poor child? I'll sign the papers.
He'll be coming back, though.
Who will?
My pa.
Ain't that pitiful? Give me the pen.
He's just out hunting with my cousin Jethro.
Nobody tells me nothing around here.
Well, I think we'd better wait and get Mr. Clampett's signature.
There he is now. I'll have him sign him and fetch the papers back to you.
Oh, under the circumstances, I think we better witness this signature.
You better come with me, Ellie. That front door's awful hard to open.
Well, Chief, we tried. I guess they're not home. Move over.
Get back there, you coward.
Mr. Drysdale, you're just the fella I'm looking for.
Stop her, Miss Hathaway. Save me.
What are you scared of? All I want's a little favor.
Oh, well, what is it?
Come out to the kitchen, pretend you're Jed, and sign his name to some paper.
Wait, you want me to impersonate Mr. Clampett and forge his signature?
That's all. Come on.
Now, wait a minute. I can't do that.
You got to. It's the only way I can get Ellie on the television and get her a husband.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Are you refusing to do me one little old favor?
Well, yes,
Granny, he could be sent to prison.
No. If he ain't gonna do it as a favor, I ain't gonna force him. Just go to the kitchen and tell them fellers to forget about it. Ellie and me will commence packing. I promised myself if I didn't get Ellie a husband this time, we were going back home for good.
No, wait.
4 years in Beverly Hills is enough. This quick as fish fry.
But, Granny...
Just get Jed's money bailed. We'll be leaving first thing in the morning.
Spot. Go to prison for forgery or give up $60 million.
I'm sorry, Chief. I wish there was some way I could help. Chief, don't look at me like that. No, Chief, wait!
Relax. Your job will be waiting for you when you get out. Well, gentlemen, I find these papers in order. I'm certain that I can persuade Mr. Clampett to sign them.
That's wonderful, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, glad to do it, glad to do it. J.D. Clampett has a lot of money in my bank, and I feel sure that it's going to make him feel good to know that he's doing business with fellow depositors.
But, Mr. Drysdale, I don't believe my company has an account with your bank.
Neither is my ad agency.
Really? Oh, my, that does present a problem. Oh, yes, very clannish, these Hill people. They like to feel that there's a sort of bond, you know. Well, it's too bad. It could have been a great campaign.
Well, now, wait. Maybe I can get my company to open a small commercial account if I put on the pressure.
Me too. Gentlemen, you're using a word I don't like.
Pressure?
No, small.
How's the medium?
Try again.
Substantial?
Keep going.
Large?
You've just made Mr. Clampett a very happy man. Come in, J.D. We're waiting for your signature, Mr. Clampett. It's all right, they're fellow depositors. A very bashful man, excuse me. So, if you got your hair cut, you could hear better. This is Mr. Clark and Mr. Dickerback.
Well, I'm happy to meet you, Mr. Clampett.
Hold it.
Mr. Clampett, you've got to stop taking these long hunting trips. Why, you're down to skin and bone.
Mr. Clampett, I'm sure you're going to be very happy to know that both my own soup company and Mr. Dickerback's ad agency are opening substantial accounts at Mr. Drysdale's bank.
What kind? Right. Sign here, J.D.
Not until you promise to give that there fine, upstanding, efficient, hard-working secretary of yours a raise.
What?
And I think it's high time she was getting in on that there pension and profit-sharing plan, too.
I'll take it up with her later. You can count on that.
You got to have your promise now, in front of these here witnesses.
Okay, I promise. A substantial raise.
What kind?
Large.
Large raise, pension, and profit-sharing.
And I'll throw in hospitalization. She's going to need it.
Well, gee whiz, Granny, do we have to go back home?
You want a husband, don't you?
Well, sure, but...
Well, you ain't gonna get one out here. We've been yelling suey for 4 years. Ain't got a hog to the trough yet.
Granny, you won't have to leave. Everything is all set.
Mr. Clampett just signed the papers.
Ellie Mae's going to be the savory soup girl.
We'll be back in a couple of hours for a taping session.
The raise is $10 a week. Make that 15. 15! All right, let's say 12 and a half. Hi.
Well, don't let this gun scare you. I just been out jumping a few jacks. You from back home? Kinfolk? Must be from Granny's side of the family. I figure you got her framed. You sure ain't got her mouth.
Now, don't you worry, child. I'm going to see that everything...
Oh, Paul, thank you for signing them papers.
Oh, Jed, you did sign the papers. I thought that maybe Mr. Drysdale... Who's that goomer?
Your kin?
I ain't never seen him before.
And now, young lady, I'm going to Mexico. Goodbye, everybody.
Chief, I am not going to face this alone.
Miss Hathaway, what is the meaning of this masquerade?
Oh, come now.
Doggies it is, Miss Jean.
Miss Hathaway, I demand a full explanation of your behavior. Have it on my desk when I return from Mexico. Drysdale? Yes?
Seems to me that there's more than one fox here with feathers on his mouth. Supposing we all sit down at the table and give all the chickens a chance to cackle.
All right, Granny, can we see you at the kettle, please? That's it, right there. That's good. All right, Granny. Are you ready?
all you folks out there in television land. I'm fixing to show you how I make Snyder's surprise soup. It's named after Snyder Swamp back home, 'cause it's made from all the critters who live there. First, you start with a good, rich gator stuff. I reckon some of you city folks calls it alligator. But back home, we don't use the Ellie.
Did you call me, Granny?
Bless my soul. If it ain't my rich, beautiful, young, unmarried granddaughter, Ellie Mae Clem.
Smile?
Look at that smile. Ain't a tooth in her head needs.
I might have known.
I reckon she's gonna have a swim in the cement pond just to cool off from all that work in the kitchen. Just loves to cook, that Something's awful the matter with Jethro. I baked him his favorite cake and he's barely touched it. Look.
Oh, I'd say he's touched it.
Ted, this is a pecan twirl with kumquat icing. On his last birthday, Jethro ate one of these in 2 minutes flat. Candles and all. And they were still burning.
Granny, I wouldn't get excited about it. There must be some reason.
How? Better come see to Jethro. He's out by the cement pond spouting love poems.
Well, you see, Granny, that explains the cake. The boy's got himself a sweetie. Now, there's no call to get excited.
But, Paul, you ain't seen who his sweetie is.
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach. Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Ain't nothing wrong with a boy liking his dogs, but don't you think he might rather have a nice bone?
Oh, that's my girlfriend, Susie.
Maybe you and me better have that long talk.
That ain't Susie. I'm just practicing what I'm going to say to Susie.
Oh, you got yourself a girlfriend, huh?
Yeah, we's going to be married. Live in a vine-covered cottage and have scans of kids and live happy ever after. I can work out just one problem.
What's that?
She hates me.
Well, that is the problem.
But she's got everything. Beautiful face, great figure, works at a drive-in restaurant. Oh, when she comes at me with a plate of hamburgers and French fries, my heart just goes to beating like a hammer. When she gets near and I see them little dabs of ketchup on her apron, smell that pickle relish on her fingers, that near drives me mad.
Well, I reckon there's all kinds of love.
Oh, it's a real thing, Uncle Jim. I can beat it right here.
You sure that ain't indigestion?
Oh, no. But you got to give me some advice on court. I must have ate 300 hamburgers in the last week, and she ain't even give me a smile.
Well, boy, I'd sure like to help. But it's been a long while since I fished in them kind of waters, and times have changed.
What do you mean?
Well, I always say if you want to know what kind of bait they're biting on, ask the fella that's catching his limit.
Uncle Jed, I don't think you and me is talking about the same thing.
You ought to ask the ladies' man for advice.
Well, I don't know nothing. Unless it's Dash Riprock or them other movie stars.
Now you got yourself an idea.
You mean Dash?
You got yourself a stringful.
Yeah.
Hot dog! Look at this place! Never mind, Jethro. Let's get right down to business. I'm expecting a friend. We can talk while I'm getting ready. Now, you say you want to learn how to make a hit with this girl.
Oh, no, sir. I want to marry her.
First thing you've got to do is get a date. You know how to ask for one?
Well, how about that? Hey, let's you and me go out spooning.
Oh, no, Jethro. There's a better way. Try something like, let's make this our evening to remember.
I see. Let me try. Let's make this our evening to remember. How about that, huh?
Jethro, I was putting on cologne.
Boy, you sure do smell good. Jethro, I don't think I'm the kind of teacher you need.
Oh, come on, Dash. Why, you don't have to teach me. Just show me how you'd court a girl.
Well, all right. We'd probably start with a candlelight dinner for two and a little romantic atmosphere. Drapes closed. Soft music. Yeah. Flames lit.
Dog! Is that the way you cook the candlelight dinner for two?
No. Then we'd sit on the sofa. I'd put my arm around her, turn to her and say...
Hey, wait. Don't tell me. I know this part. You say, how do I love thee? Now let me softer the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach.
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane. Come in. Good to see you.
Mr. Clampett, I have most distressing news. Jethro just called to tell us that he's purchasing a flashy new convertible.
I know. I told him to call you in case there's any papers he needs signed.
But did you know he's taking love lessons from Dash Riprock?
Yes, ma'am.
But Mr. Clampett, Dash Riprock is a notorious rake, roue, and libertine. Before you know it, Jethro will be just like him.
Well, it's a lot to hope for, but the boy does catch on to things fast.
Hi, Miss Hathaway.
No! Don't touch me, you fiend. You may have all the other women in the world. But you shall never have me.
Hi there, Dash. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Clampett. You know that Miss Hathaway is a real ding-a-ling.
But just between us, she's kind of took with you, too. So you come over to see Ellie Mae, have you?
Well, yes, sir. I was hoping she'd like to go out on a double date with me.
Double date? Well, I don't hardly think she'd want to be sharing you with another girl.
No, sir. Double date with another couple. Jethro was going to ask Susie, and he wondered if I'd like to go along.
Oh, well, we're much obliged for the way you helping the boy.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Mr. Clampett. I hope you don't mind my advising him to get a nice convertible for dates. Jethro needs to project an image of worldliness, savoir-faire, sophistication.
Well, here she is, Uncle Jen. Ain't it a beauty? I'm going right over and ask Susie for a date.
You didn't trade a truck on this thing, did you?
Oh, no, sir. What a deal I made. $75, just as she says.
Don't believe it.
Yeah, all the chrome stuff on it's worth that.
Sure is a lot of it. What do you call that color?
Passionate purple. Look out, Susie. Here I come.
Engine fell out.
Jethro, unless you get this thing fixed, you ain't gonna have time to see Susie about a date.
Ellie Mae fixed it, Uncle Jed. I'm going right over and ask Susie now.
You know what to say, do you?
Oh, yeah, Dash told me. Got it all wrote down, right here. Listen to her purr.
Well, it ain't gonna purr along without thee.
Hey, Susie. It's me, Jethro.
Oh, it's you.
Notice anything different about me?
Yeah, you're not eating.
No, I mean my new car. Ain't it something?
Sure. But what?
Hey, it's my Hollywood wolf wagon. I bet you never seen anything like this before.
No, I've never seen anything like you before.
Oh, shucks.
Look, I'm busy. What's your order?
You?
Oh, forget it, Buster. You want the usual 6 hamburgers or not?
No, I better check the notes. Let's make this our evening to remember.
Go jump in the lake.
I'll be looking forward to it. It's the last time I'll ever listen to anything Dash Riprock tells me.
You know Dash Riprock? The movie star?
Oh, yeah, he's the one you and me were supposed to double date with tonight.
Really?
Yeah, we was going to a drive-in movie.
Jethro, try me again.
Again?
You mean the part about making this our evening to remember?
I'd love to.
Hot dog! I must have read my notes wrong. Hey, Susie, how about some popcorn?
Jethro, is this the only movie you could find?
Here comes the swamp monster. What happened to the sound?
I bet through the speaker cord.
Jethro, let's go get a drink of water.
Oh, I already had 6 orange drinks, Dash. I ain't thirsty.
I am. Come on. Jethro, will you forget about food? Start doing some good with Susie?
Oh, I'm waiting for the love scenes, Dash. Like you told me.
Love scenes? In this movie?
Yeah. In the end, the swamp monster falls in love with the giant squid.
Well, don't wait for that. As soon as you can, put your arms around her and say some of the things I told you.
Gotcha, Dash.
Susie?
Could we get a drink of water? Boy, I thought I'd never get them horns to stop.
All right, Jethro. This time, do like I told you and try not to lean on anything, including Susie.
Right.
And when we get back, put the top up. She may feel self-conscious in that open car.
Right.
Golly, Dash. Watching them lizards fighting sure got everybody here in a mean mood.
What do you mean, Ellie?
Well, nobody's watching the picture no more. They's all wrestling.
Jethro's going to put the top up.
Yeah, so you won't feel cold.
Oh, I'm not cold, Dash.
I'll have it up in a minute. It's a power top. It's stuck. I'll have it down in a minute. I'll fix it right now.
Hurry up, Jethro. The swamp monster's coming back.
I'll have it in a minute.
Hope so.
Dash, can we go get another drink of water? Gosh, Dash, things ain't working out too good.
No kidding. Well, we might as well get out of this place. I know a spot up on Mulholland Drive with a great view. Maybe you'll have better luck there.
Boy, I hope so. Susie's getting to like the swamp monster better than me. Hey, what do you say we get out of this place?
Oh, I'm for that.
I know a spot up on Mulholland Drive.
Well,
Take it easy. It's going to mean crawling under the car and getting all greasy and ruining some good clothes. But don't you worry. Ellie will fix it.
I wish you'd come inside.
Where are they, Jed?
Well, maybe it's one of them, what you call double features.
Till 4 in the morning?
Hold on, Granny. Here they come now.
Boy, your old car sure made a mess of our double date.
Oh, quit complaining, Ellie. Got us home, didn't it?
Oh, howdy there, Dash.
Good morning, Mr. Babbitt. Did Jethro and Ellie Mae get home all right last night?
Oh, yeah. What you got there?
Well, this is Jethro's drive shaft. I found it on the ground after they towed him away.
Oh, too bad about last night. Car took the wind out of the boy's sail.
Really down in the dumps, huh?
If he was any lower, he could walk under a bench with his hat on.
Well, I'll have a talk with him.
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach.
You reading poetry to Susie again?
Not Susie, Duke.
Duke?
Yeah. I'm through with women. Dogs is man's best friend. Oh, hi, Dash.
I wouldn't give up on Susie so soon, Jethro. I think your car was most of the trouble.
Yeah, well, it ain't gonna be no more. Yonder she sits, squashed into one big hunk.
That's your car?
Yes, sir. I hauled it down to the junkyard and had them bail it.
Well, what'd you do that for?
Well, I knew it weren't no good, Uncle Jed, but I just couldn't bear to part with it.
Cheer up, Jethro. We can still figure out a way for you to make a hit with Susie.
Well, I don't think so, Dash. I can't even make a hit with Duke.
You know, when I was courting, I always done best when I took the girl out someplace extra special. Like, up to watch the bats fly out of Carson's cave at sundown.
Oh, shucks. I'd do all right, though, if I had a pad like Dash's to ask a girl up to.
Okay, you've got it.
I do?
You sure, Dash?
Well, sure, I got a date with Ellie Mae tonight. He can have it all evening.
Hot dog! I'll go out and ask Susie right now.
Watch out for that!
Jethro may not be the smartest date that girl ever has, but he'll sure be the cleanest.
Come in, beautiful. Come in, beautiful. Come in, beautiful.
Jethro?
Howdy. Come in, beautiful.
This is Dash Riprock's apartment.
Yeah. Gee, I never thought I'd get a date with you after last night.
Neither did I.
Huh?
Nothing. Do you think Dash might show up later on?
We're all alone.
Oh, well. Just wait till the girls hear that I was in Dash's apartment. What is that smell?
It's cologne. Picked it out myself. It's called Kissing the Lilacs.
Jethro, that's a perfume for women.
I know. You're a woman. That's why I throw it on an extra lot. Would you like a drink?
Sure.
Ice water right out of the tap.
Well, this is a surprise, Ellie. I thought we'd be going out tonight.
Well, you ain't even had the surprise yet, Dash. Close your eyes. Now, sit down and let me hold your hand. Here it comes. Taffy.
Taffy?
Yeah. Pull it. Now we're going to have some real fun.
Oh, boy.
I'll get it, Granny.
Now, but I could stand by no longer. I must rescue Jethro from the tainted tutelage of that despicable Dash Riprock.
Jethro ain't here, Miss Jean.
No, he's over to Dash's apartment.
On the job training, I suppose. Wait until I see Dash.
Dash is in the parlor with Ellie.
You left them alone!
Let go, Dash. Let go.
I can't, Ellie. I'm stuck on you.
Hand that child! And now to rescue Jethro!
You know that Miss Hathaway is a real ding-a-ling.
She give Dash a clock upside of the head.
Mind me not to invite her to a taffy pull.
It appear right worked up over it.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to sit on the sofa?
Oh, no, thanks, Jethro. I really ought to be going now. It's been a real thrill. Gee, thanks for everything.
Hey, wait, don't go. We can watch TV.
Oh, is there a Dash Riprock picture on?
I'll see.
Oh.
We can watch for a while, and by then our candlelight gourmet supper for two will be ready. Susie?
go, Jethro. Thanks for everything.
Hey, but we ain't had our candlelight gourmet supper for two yet.
Wait, I'll get it. Cooked just special for you. I know you're gonna like it. Look, 3 dozen hamburgers. Heck, Bar. I didn't get a chance to dim the lights or turn on the music or light the flames. It's a shame to waste all these hamburgers. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to sit down and drown my sorrow.
Jethro! I'm here to save you. Save me from what? The influence of Dash Riprock.
Oh, shucks. I didn't get a chance to use any of the things Dash showed me.
What things?
Well, lots of stuff. You want some of these hamburgers?
Show me. What things?
Jane, you're too nice a girl. I mean, you're not the type...
Jethro, show me.
First, you got to go sit on the sofa.
Yes, then what?
Well, then I'm supposed to sit down, sneak my hand over, and turn on the music.
Yes?
Boy, them hamburgers sure smell good.
What next?
Then I'm supposed to dim the lights.
Yes?
Then I'm supposed to say, "You're beautiful, but ravishing."
Yes.
And then I'm supposed to say...
Jethro, this is maddening.
I know. I can't stand it no longer.
Oh, me neither.
Good. Let's get at them hamburgers.
Is the new dasher for my churn about ready?
Pretty near, Granny, but I wish you'd give up churning when you're mad. We've been getting a lot of splinters in the butter lately.
Well, you can blame Jethro for the state I'm in. I declare, Jed, that boy is turning into a first-class girl chaser.
Well, I always said, if you're going to do something, do it well.
That's it. Make a joke of it. What you ought to do is take him to the woodshed.
We ain't got a woodshed.
And they call this a mansion. He ought to do something. He's run out on his chores again today.
Well, Granny, he's likely just hiding. All you got to do is flush him out.
I say he ain't here. And I say he's where he is every day. Riding up and down Wilshire Boulevard on that truck, showing off to the girls.
He ain't showing off today. I just clipped his wings. I took the steering wheel.
Mark my words, Jed, that boy is headed for trouble. He's on the road to ruination.
Well, if he is, he's walking.
Don't say I didn't warn you. And it's you that give him the 3 keys to perdition.
3 keys to perdition?
Fine clothes, fancy car, and 50 cents a week. And it's you that'll reap the harvest when the seeds of temptation is trampled on by the little foxes. Because as the rod is spared, so is the twig bent. And then the dancers have got to pay for casting the first stone.
I don't know what she said, but she sure could stir up a camp meeting with it.
Boy, driving that thing without a steering wheel sure keeps a fella hustling. I pretty near run over that little old gal.
What little old gal?
I had one coming up the driveway yonder.
Who is she?
I don't know.
Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy. Is this here the Clampett place?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Jed Clampett, and this here is my nephew, Jethro Bodie.
Howdy.
Howdy. I reckon y'all don't remember me, do you?
Well, you look familiar, but I just can't place you.
You remember the Fetty family? Lived back over Possum Ridge?
Why, sure. Are you one of Jake Fetty's girls?
I'm Emmeline.
Well, bless my soul. Jethro, you recollect the Fetty girl?
I sure do. Why, I used to chuck rocks at them.
Jethro's growed up a lot since then.
So she.
Yeah, well, come on in. It's mighty pleasure to see you. Jethro, where's your manners? Emmeline's tired.
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Granny!
Jethro done got married.
Now,
I warned you, Jed. I told you this would happen if you let him run wild.
they just met.
Oh, it's worse than I thought. How could you marry a stranger?
We ain't married.
No.
This little girl is from back home. She just...
I'll bet you don't recognize her, do you?
Who don't? I never forget a face.
Granny, we ain't seen this family in some time. They used to...
Now, don't tell me. I'll get her place right off. Gertrude Sopmeyer. Isabel Gooch. Frida Boggs. Florence Twitty. F.C. Holt. Fanny Bell Nichols. Lily Holmes. Lucilla Childs.
Granny.
Now, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I never forget a face.
Give me a little hint. Possum Ridge. Jake and Dora.
Of course. Dora Ridge. Dora Possum.
This is Jake and Dora Fetty's girl, Emmeline.
Why'd you have to tell me? I'd have got it. Honey.
Thank you, Granny.
Well, Jethro, let's get Emmeline settled up in the spare room next to Ellie Mae.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of Ellie, put her down. I meant take her things up to the spare room.
Oh, now wait. I just come by to make my handies. I don't aim to put my feet under your table.
Hey, looky here. A cuckoo clock.
Paul had me fetch this along to get me up mornings. He said the hotel might not have a rooster.
Oh, Emmeline, you're at home, folks. We can't let you stay in a hotel.
Bus driver said that I might be able to get into the YWCA.
I wouldn't stay no place that had to be spelt in mixed company.
You're staying right here.
I sure don't want to be any bother.
Won't be no bother at all. I'll just water the soup.
Howdy.
Ellie Mae, you recognize this girl?
Now, don't waste your time, Jed. She ain't got my memory for faces. This is Emmeline Fetty from back home.
Oh, hi there, Emmeline.
Howdy, Ellie. My goodness, y'all sure wear short dresses out here.
Oh, this here's what you call a beach jacket.
Ellie, you're showing your skimpies.
This is a bathing suit.
A bathing suit?
I reckon you ain't never seen nothing like that before, have you?
I sure never. Back home, folks still takes a bath with nothing on.
Well, Ellie Mae explained it to you. Ellie, suppose you take Emmeline up and show her that spare room next to yours and see if she's made comfortable.
Sure will, Paul. Come on, Emmeline. Later on, we'll go swimming in a scenic pond.
Jed, how come Jake and Dora didn't write us their daughter was coming to California?
Could be because they can't write.
Why'd you come?
Could be because they sent her.
What for?
Well, Granny, when you got as many young'uns as the Fettys, you don't need too big a reason for getting shed of one.
They sure had a house full, didn't they?
It is for a fact. You throw a rock on their roof, it looked like school was letting out.
I declare, y'all so good to me, it's just making my head spin. I think I better lay down for a spell. What's that thing?
Oh, that there's a telephone. Why, you can talk to folks that lives miles away from here on that.
What'll they think of next?
Well, I'll be back directly, Emmeline.
Bye, Ellie. Colonel, Rita. Okay, I'm in Fort Knox. Yeah, they fell for it. Hook, line, and spare room. Great job of research on that Fetty family. I thought there was something you dreamed up. Don't worry. I've got enough photographs and tape recordings to shake Jed Clampett loose from a cool million.
Emmeline's just a pining and hunting to go swimming, but she don't want to wear no bathing suit.
What?
Go put the steering wheel on the truck.
Well, I already done that.
Well, then drive it down to the station and fill it with gas.
Well, I done that too.
Then drive it around till it needs doing again and then do it again.
But Uncle Jed, that ain't...
Oh, boy.
Got gas.
Ellie Mae, you give Emmeline one of your bathing suits and explain to her...
Well, I done give her one of my bathing suits, Paul, but she's scared you won't like her showing her limbs.
Well, I gotta admit, it did jolt me some when we first come out here, but seems all the young'uns do it, so tell her it's all right.
Well, I did, Pa, but she says she ain't gonna budge out of her room until you come up and tell her it's fitting.
Well, that's the way it has to be.
Who is it?
It's me, Jed Clamper. I just want to say it's all right for you to go swimming in your swimming suit. See you downstairs.
Wait a minute. Don't go away. Oh, Mr. Clampett, it's you.
Yes, ma'am.
Gracious, and I'm standing here with my bare limbs showing. Why, I'm so ashamed.
Well, no call for you to feel ashamed, Emmeline. Things are different out here than it is back home.
Please let me go to the YWCA.
Oh, you're staying right here.
Oh, don't do that, Mr. Clampett.
What? Oh, don't do what?
Don't shut the door.
All right, leave it open.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, I trust you. Honest, I do. You remind me so much of my daddy.
Well, that's funny. He wasn't no more than 5 feet tall.
Yeah. Why, he wouldn't have come up any more back here on you.
Miss Emmeline, I think that clock of yours is busted. I think I'll take it downstairs and fix it.
Oh, don't do that, Mr. Clampett. It's all right.
But that little bird keeps jumping on and cuckooing all the time.
Well, maybe it's the mating season.
Miss Emmeline, I think you better forget about swimming and have yourself a little rest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're the nicest man, Mr. Clampett.
There it goes again. Miss Emmeline, I think you and that clock is both wound up too tight.
Jed, what's taking you so long?
Well, it's the mating season for cuckoo.
What?
Well, you see, that little bird kept jumping on the clock, and Miss Emmeline said, never mind. Anyway, she ain't going swimming.
Oh, yes, I am.
Well, I thought you was all tuckered out.
Not anymore. I feel like $1 million. Colonel, Rita. Listen, you clown. Why didn't you tell me my father was 5 feet tall? Oh, I covered for it all right. And I've got some great films and tape. Okay, I'll meet you at the camera store at 2 o'clock.
Emmeline, you out here?
I've got to go. King Kong is stalking us.
Hey, what you doing?
Jethro, there's a bee in this gourd, and it's just a buzzing to beat the band.
Well, that ain't no gourd.
Well, it's got a vine on it.
This here is our telephone, you poor dumb country girl.
Sorry.
Oh, shucks. No, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You won't believe this, but 4 years ago when we came here, well, I was just as big a hick as you are.
Oh, go on.
Well, yeah, it's the truth. Well, I was a regular hayseed.
You sure have changed.
Well, I reckon it's living so close to Hollywood, some of that movie star stuff just rubbed off on me.
Can we get to town by 2 o'clock? Well, I want to get back here in time for my chores.
Well, I'll check the time. Oh, let's see.
Land sakes. Look at that watch.
You noticed it, huh? My Uncle Jed gave it to me. Let me pick it out myself.
It's a doozy.
See that little mouse with them short breeches and them yellow gloves? Well, his hands tell the time.
What time is it now?
I don't know. One of the hands fell off.
Excuse me, Chief. There's a Colonel Foxhall to see you.
Has he got an appointment?
No, but he says it concerns $1 million.
He's got an appointment.
Colonel.
Thank you, my dear.
Colonel Foxhall?
Colonel Gaylord Meriwether Foxhall at your service, sir.
My pleasure.
Sit down. Thank you.
Well, I understand this concerns $1 million.
Yes, I believe I am conservative in valuing the contents of this portmanteau at $1 million cash.
Miss Hathaway, bring in a deposit slip.
Oh, but I'm not depositing. I am withdrawing.
What do you mean withdrawing? How can you withdraw if you haven't got any money in the bank?
Yes, sir, but I believe Mr. Clampett has a great deal of money in your bank. And it's $1 million of his that I plan to withdraw.
You a friend of Jed Clampett?
I never met the gentleman.
Miss Hathaway, what's the idea of letting this Southern fried phony in my office?
An appointment?
You said he had $1 million. Now throw him out.
Mr. Drysdale, before you make any rash decisions, what does this look like to you?
Like a wild old man after a sweet young girl.
Exactly. Would you care to identify that wild old man?
Possible. Yes.
Here are some others you might care to peruse. They tell the sordid tale of a sweet, innocent country girl who was lured into the mansion of a Beverly Hills millionaire. Once inside, this frightened maiden pleaded to be allowed the sanctuary of the YWCA. But her pleas fell on deaf and decadent ears.
Now look, I don't.
Thereupon, as these pictures so clearly illustrate, the sanctity of her boudoir was brazenly invaded by this backwoods Bluebeard. But Mr. Clampett did, my dear, and the scars upon the soul of this sweet, simple maiden can be erased only by time. Time and $1 million. Cash.
This is out-and-out extortion, the old Badger game. I'm going to call the police.
Mr. Drysdale, you do lack imagination. I believe, Mr. Clampett, you should be an officer in your bank.
Well, Chief, you did make him vice president for a day.
So, let's look at tomorrow morning's headlines.
Commerce Bank officer in love this scandal.
Well, that's just a dummy newspaper.
True. The real one will be profusely illustrated by these fascinating photographs.
Wrong number.
Oh, here you are, Uncle Jed. Can we have us that man-to-man talk?
Sure, sit down. Well, what do you want to talk about?
Emmeline Fetty. Can her and me get married?
Married?
Yeah, you see, she is crazy mad, desperate in love with me.
It's kind of sudden, ain't it?
I reckon. But you got to remember, she's just a plain, dumb old country girl. She ain't never seen nobody like me before. Said so herself.
When did all this come about?
When I was driving her into town and back. I didn't aim for it to happen. I tried to keep the lid clamped down on my charm, but something must have slopped over.
And now she's crazy mad in love with you, huh?
Is she ever? Why, all the way home, she kept trying to get me to drive to some out-of-the-way place where we could be alone.
No fooling.
Yeah, kept asking me to get lost.
Boy, I don't believe I'd rush you into anything.
But Jed, she needs a husband. Well, that's an awful dumb girl. You know that cuckoo clock that needed fixing?
Yeah?
She took it to a camera store.
You sure you want to marry a girl that dumb?
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Jed. I'm smart enough for both of us. You should have seen her face when I told her that I graduated 6th grade.
Well, I would carry weight with the Fetties. It never was long on learning.
I think it was my cipher that really put a match to her heart and set her flaming with desire.
Ciphered for her, did you?
Uncle Jed, when I got to the multiplication table at 12, it like to drove her crazy. She commenced moaning, gasping for breath, and her eyes rolled back in her head.
Good thing you didn't cipher no gazetta. She might have married you then and there.
I'll go do something for her right now. Emmeline! Hey, Emmeline!
Wait a minute, boy. I was just... Yes, sir. Come back.
Emmeline! Oh, here you are. Hey, listen to this. A 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice.
I still say the Clampetts are innocent. And Emmeline is just a Jezebel, recruited by this...
Help! Help!
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Howdy, Miss Jane. Jethro, come back here. Stop chasing her. Put her down. She don't belong to you yet.
Oh, yes, she does.
Go in, folks. Put her down, Jethro.
Shock him. Shock him. Why, they're fighting over her like beasts. I'm not so sure we should settle for $1 million.
What do you think, Granny?
Oh, I like this one, Jed.
They're all good pictures. What are you asking for these, Colonel Foxhole?
Foxhall, sir. I'm asking $1 million.
$1 million?
Well, I ain't bought many pictures, but that does seem a mite steep.
Mr. Clampett, if you don't need his price, these pictures will appear on the front page of tomorrow's newspaper.
Well, there's an idea, Granny. Let's wait till tomorrow and cut them out of the paper.
Good thinking, Jed. Excuse me, everybody. I got a brace of possum in the oven.
I hope you'll stay to supper, Colonel. Granny's possum is finger-licking good.
Mr. Clampett, I find your levity and jocularity most inappropriate to the solemn occasion which has brought us together here, and I will tolerate no further sham or delay while this sweet, innocent girl suffers the pangs of purloined probity.
Well, doggy. Put him with Granny, and a pair of them would tear a camp meeting wide open.
What happened to Emmeline? Oh, there you are. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 24.
Please.
Oh, it drives you wild, too, huh, Miss Tanner? What are these pictures? Hey, Uncle Jed, you're kissing my girl.
Jethro.
No wonder you sent me out of the house this morning. Why, you was aiming to steal my sweetie.
Jethro.
Keep talking, boy. I'm recording every word.
I'm sorry, Uncle Jed, but we're going to have to fight us a duel.
Now, look, boy.
I'll be back quick as I can find a glove to slap you with.
Mr. Clampett, I urge you to make some sort of settlement.
Decency demands it, sir. And I say to you, if satisfaction is not...
Colonel, come down off your stump. I aim to do the right thing.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Miss Emmeline and me will be married right off. Roll to the Hills demands it. I done seen her in her skimpies and flimsies. We leave for Bug Tussle tonight. Honeymoon in Snyder's Swamp.
What?
And we move into that little shack back to Possum Ridge with your ma and pa and 17 sisters.
You gotta be out of your skull.
Now, my
Stop, Dad. I'm blowing this caper.
Hey, Emmeline. I couldn't find a glove to swap my Uncle Jed with, but will you marry me without a duel?
American television,
Get
new
lost.
series captured the gentle collision of
Uncle
rural
Jed,
simplicity
she
and
still
urban
loves me.
sophistication with the consistent warmth and comic precision of the Beverly Hillbillies. The early episodes of its 5th season, as preserved in this composite script, open with a homecoming sequence that is at once pure physical farce and a tender reaffirmation of family bonds. The return of Granny and Jethro from their sojourn back of the hills is staged with the loving attention to character detail that defined Paul Henning's creation. What begins as a simple reunion becomes a richly layered celebration of handmade craftsmanship, hill country generosity, and the Clampett's unshakable sense of belonging, all filtered through the affectionate gaze of a series that never mocked its protagonists, even as it invited audiences to laugh with them. The script begins in the familiar territory of the Clampett mansion, where the absence of Granny has left the household in a state of culinary peril. Jed Clampett, portrayed with Buddy Ebsen's characteristic quiet dignity, has been surviving on roots and berries and the occasional squirrel's nuts after the provisions Granny left behind ran out. Miss Jane Hathaway, ever the efficient and slightly flustered secretary, has been discreetly informing Mr. Drysdale of the situation. The banker, returning from what is described as a nice vacation, arrives to find his prized client reduced to foraging. The dialogue here is pure Hillbillies gold. Jed's understated report that he has been taking them out and burying them when referring to Ellie Mae's cooking attempts carries the deadpan weight that Ebsen perfected. There is no bitterness in the line, only the patient acceptance of a man who understands that his daughter's earnest efforts, however disastrous, spring from affection. The famous exchange about chocolate sauce on meatloaf, you could eat sawdust with chocolate sauce on it, is delivered with the timing of seasoned vaudevillians. Ellie Mae's wide-eyed insistence that it was last night's meatloaf and Jed's gentle correction create a moment of domestic absurdity that feels lived in rather than manufactured. In the cultural context of the mid-1960s, when many American families still gathered around the dinner table as a sacred institution, the sequence gently satirizes the growing specialization of household labor while affirming the Clampetts' refusal to abandon their own cooking traditions, however imperfect. The arrival of Granny and Jethro is a masterclass in escalating physical comedy. The truck has given out at the city limits of San Bernardino, 50 miles from Beverly Hills. Rather than abandon the vehicle, the pair have pushed it the entire distance along the freeway, staying pretty much in the slow lane. The image of the diminutive Irene Ryan hanging onto the steering wheel while running alongside the truck, unable to reach the brake, is pure visual poetry. When the truck finally collides with Miss Jane's car, the ensuing exchange is a cascade of overlapping accusations and explanations that showcase the cast's impeccable ensemble timing. Jethro's protest, "I wasn't driving, I was pushing," and Jed's parental reprimand about wearing his shoes clean down to your pink socks revealed to be bare feet create layers of comic misunderstanding. The moment is never cruel. Max Baer Jr.'s Jethro remains endearing in his dim-witted enthusiasm. And Irene Ryan's granny, even while being pitched 10-12 feet, retains her indomitable spirit. The physicality required of the actors Ryan running Baer pushing the eventual crash speaks to the athletic commitment that underpinned so much of the series' humor. In an era when television comedy often relied on verbal sparring alone, the Beverly Hillbillies insisted on bodies in motion, on the comedy of effort and endurance. Once the family is reunited, the presentation of gifts transforms the mansion's living room into a stage for hill country pageantry. Aunt Pearl Bodine, though never seen, becomes a vivid presence through her handmade offerings. The party dress for Ellie Mae is described with reverent detail. Pearl sewed it all by hand, every stitch. Ellie Mae's shy delight, "I look beautiful," and Granny's proud declaration that it is a Pearl Bodine original elevate the garment beyond mere fabric. In the 1960s, when ready-to-wear fashion was becoming dominant and mass production was reshaping American consumption, Pearl's labor-intensive creation stands as a quiet rebuke. The dress is not purchased. It is crafted with care across distance and time. Donna Douglas's performance in these moments is characteristically luminous. Her Ellie Mae, still more comfortable in jeans and work shirts, accepts the dress with a mixture of wonder and slight discomfort that feels authentic. The subsequent parade upstairs to try it on is treated with the same ceremonial seriousness that the Clampetts bring to every family ritual. Miss Jane's gift, a hat kept simple so you could wear it to the bank, produces one of the script's most gently comic set pieces. Pearl has misjudged the size and the hat rides a little low. The suggestion that it can be padded out with tissue paper is delivered with Granny's practical optimism. Nancy Culp's Miss Jane, ever the model of professional propriety, is momentarily at a loss for words. Her repeated just captures the character's struggle to reconcile her urban sophistication with the overwhelming sincerity of the gift. The moment is never mean-spirited. The series consistently treats Miss Jane's discomfort as affectionate rather than satirical. She is a beloved outsider who is gradually and often reluctantly drawn into the Clampett orbit. The hand-painted neckties for Mr. Drysdale and Jed, executed in genuine outdoor barn paint with free hand. No tracing or nothing, complete the ensemble of gifts. The assurance that the ties will withstand rain is both practical and absurd, a perfect distillation of Pearl's aesthetic. Raymond Bailey's Mr. Drysdale, usually the embodiment of financial calculation, is forced into a position of gracious acceptance. His promise to wear the tie to the bank is extracted through a combination of Granny's pressure and Jed's quiet moral authority, an early demonstration of the Clampetts' ability to bend Beverly Hills to their will through sheer force of character rather than wealth. The souvenir of Snyder's Swamp, described as the big health resort back in our neck of the woods, introduces a running motif of rural boosterism. Granny's explanation that folks come from miles around to take the cure and that nobody ever comes back is delivered with deadpan pride. The line is a classic Henning inversion. What sounds like a failure of the resort is presented as proof of its efficacy. The gift is intended for Mr. Drysdale's office, a deliberate attempt to transplant a piece of the Ozarks into the heart of Beverly Hills finance. The accompanying 60 gallons of sorghum, actually 600 or 700 pounds, arrives as both practical provision and comic burden. Jethro's exhaustion after pushing the truck is palpable, yet he still manages to deliver the heavy barrel. The physical comedy of the moment underscores the family's capacity for labor that city dwellers would consider superhuman. Threaded through the gift-giving is the introduction of the old crank telephone, the object that will drive the subsequent plot. Granny's rhapsodic description of its virtues: "With these new phones, you don't have to dial, all you do is turn the crank," reveals a profound nostalgia for the party line culture of the rural South. In the 1960s, as private lines and unlisted numbers became status symbols in places like Beverly Hills, the party line represented a vanishing communal intimacy. Granny's recollection that she used to spend 10 to 12 hours a day on this thing is both comic exaggeration and sincere testimony to a way of life organized around shared conversation. The telephone is not merely a communication device, it is a social organism. Irene Ryan invests the object with almost sacred significance, her voice rising with genuine excitement. The contrast with the Clampetts' existing modern telephones is never labored, it emerges naturally from character. Throughout this opening movement, the series' deeper themes quietly assert themselves. The Clampetts' wealth has not eroded their identity, if anything, it has given them the means to import their culture into the heart of the city. The handmade gifts function as ambassadors of rural values, patience, skill, personal attention against the impersonal efficiency of Beverly Hills. Jed's quiet authority, Granny's fierce protectiveness, Ellie Mae's shy sweetness, and Jethro's boundless if misguided energy form a constellation of virtues that the series consistently celebrates. The humor arises not from the family's ignorance but from the city's inability to accommodate their authenticity. When Mr. Drysdale is pressured into accepting the barn paint necktie, the moment is funny precisely because the banker recognizes, however reluctantly, the moral force behind the request. The performances in this sequence reward close attention. Buddy Ebsen's Jed moves through the chaos with a stillness that anchors every scene. His reactions are micro-expressions, a slight lift of the eyebrow, a patient pause that convey volumes. Irene Ryan's Granny is a whirlwind of energy and opinion, yet she never loses the underlying affection that makes her tyranny endearing. Max Baer Jr. commits fully to Jethro's physical comedy, whether pushing the truck or later handling the heavy sorghum barrel. Donna Douglas's Ellie Mae remains the emotional heart, her pleasure in the party dress tempered by an awareness that such finery is not her natural habitat. Nancy Culp and Raymond Bailey provide the perfect foil, their urban polish repeatedly dented by the Clampetts' sincerity. Historically, the sequence reflects the broader cultural moment of the mid-1960s. America was in the midst of rapid suburbanization and consumer transformation. The handmade object was already becoming an exotic relic. By placing Pearl's dress hat and neckties at the center of the narrative, the series quietly argues for the enduring value of craft and personal connection. The 50-mile push of the truck is itself a metaphor for the family's determination to maintain continuity with their origins despite the distances, geographic, economic, cultural, that now separate them from the hills. As the gifts are distributed and the old telephone is revealed, the stage is set for the complications that will follow. Yet the homecoming itself remains a self-contained triumph of character comedy. It reminds the viewer why the Beverly Hillbillies endured, not because it ridiculed the rural poor made rich but because it found in their unpretentious humanity a mirror for the aspirations and absurdities of the culture that surrounded them. The Clampetts do not merely visit Beverly Hills, they remake it one handmade necktie and one crank telephone at a time into a place where rural values can still find a home. In this opening movement, the series reaffirms its central covenant with the audience that laughter and loyalty can coexist and that the heart of the American experience still beats strongest in the simplest of gestures, the offering of a gift made by hand. The patient endurance of a long journey home, and the unshakable belief that family is the only true wealth. The introduction of the old crank telephone into the Clampett household marks one of the purest distillations of culture clash comedy that the Beverly Hillbillies ever achieved. In the composite script of these early fifth-season episodes, the instrument arrives not as a mere prop but as a living emblem of a vanishing rural world, and its subsequent installation by Jethro becomes a cascade of physical farce, technological misunderstanding, and institutional panic that ripples outward from the mansion to the entire neighborhood. What begins as Granny's nostalgic longing for the communal intimacy of the party line escalates into a full-scale blackout, a confrontation with the telephone company, and a display of Mr. Drysdale's willingness to weaponize his bank's influence in defense of his most valuable clients. Throughout, the series maintains its characteristic warmth, never allowing the comedy to curdle into mockery of either the Clampetts' innocence or the city's rigid modernity. Granny's first encounter with the telephone is a moment of pure rapture. Holding the device with the reverence usually reserved for sacred relics, she enumerates its virtues in a monologue that is both comic and deeply felt. Not only is it built better, she declares, but with these new phones you don't have to dial. All you do is turn the crank, lift up the receiver and say hello Central. The line is delivered by Irene Ryan with a rising cadence of excitement that transforms the object into a portal back to the hills. She recalls spending 10 to 12 hours a day on this thing, a recollection that blends exaggeration with genuine longing. In the mid-1960s, when private lines and unlisted numbers had become markers of status in places like Beverly Hills, the party line represented an older, more porous form of social life. Conversations were shared. Privacy was secondary to connection. Granny's enthusiasm is therefore not merely eccentric, it is a quiet act of cultural resistance. The modern telephones already installed throughout the Clampett mansion are dismissed with a wave of the hand. They lack the soul of the crank model. Ryan invests every syllable with the authority of lived experience, her voice cracking with pleasure at the memory of party-line gossip and communal listening. Jethro is immediately pressed into service as the family's resident engineer. Max Baer Jr. approaches the task with the same boundless confidence that characterizes all of Jethro's professional aspirations, whether brain surgery or movie stardom. Instructed to connect up my new telephone, he first distracts himself by playing with Granny's shotgun barrel, an interlude that allows the script to underscore his perpetual boyishness. When finally prodded into action, he climbs the utility pole outside the mansion, a physical feat that Baer executes with the athletic gusto the role required. From his elevated perch, he reports that the wires are humming like a swarm of bees, a line that captures both his literal mindedness and the latent danger of the situation. The image of Jethro perched high above Beverly Hills, selecting wires at random, is pure visual comedy. The series had always excelled at placing its rural characters in incongruous urban settings. Here the incongruity is vertical as well as cultural. The consequences arrive with exquisite timing. The entire neighborhood loses electricity. The script captures the ensuing chaos through a series of overlapping complaints. A man named Margaret are addressed as such in the garbled transcript, fretting that the whole neighborhood is without power, carpets delayed, and the general sense of modern life grinding to a halt. The blackout is never explained in technical detail. The comedy resides in the sheer improbability that one well-meaning hillbilly could plunge an affluent community into darkness by attempting to restore an antique telephone. Jed's understated reaction, "Granny's gonna have plenty to listen to," is classic Buddy Ebsen, a quiet acknowledgement of both the disaster and the inevitable entertainment it will provide his mother-in-law. The moment exemplifies the series' gift for turning potential catastrophe into domestic amusement. When Mr. Kramer of the telephone company arrives, the culture clash sharpens into institutional confrontation. Kramer is the embodiment of bureaucratic modernity, polite, firm, and utterly uncomprehending of the request for a party line. "This is the home of private phones and unlisted numbers," he explains, a line that crystallizes the values of 1960s Beverly Hills. Privacy has become a commodity. Shared lines are relics of a less sophisticated age. Granny's insistence on about 10 or 12 parties on the line and her specific request for Pearl's old ring, 3 shorts and a long, only deepen the mutual incomprehension. The scene is structured as a classic farce of escalating misunderstanding. Jed attempts to clarify only to be interrupted by Granny's hearing difficulties and her determination to speak for herself. The dialogue piles up in overlapping waves. "I just did what?" until the simple request has become a linguistic labyrinth. Raymond Bailey's Mr. Drysdale watches with growing alarm, recognizing that his client's eccentricities are once again threatening the smooth operation of his carefully ordered world. Drysdale's response is pure character revelation. Rather than reason with the telephone company, he resorts to naked economic power. "My bank does a lot of business with the telephone company," he declares. "Now either you give the Clampetts a party line or you're gonna lose a good customer." The threat is delivered with the oily confidence of a man accustomed to getting his way. When Kramer remains unmoved, Drysdale escalates further, later instructing an underling that the right threat can accomplish miracles. The sequence is a gentle satire of the way wealth operates in American society. Drysdale does not defend the Clampetts out of affection alone, he defends them because their fortune underwrites his own status. Yet the series never allows the satire to become cynical. Drysdale's bluster is ultimately in service of the family's happiness, and his willingness to go right to the wall for Granny is treated as a perverse form of loyalty. The comedy resides in the disproportion between the modest request a party line and the nuclear option of withdrawing the bank's business. Granny's temporary hearing loss after the telephone blew up in her ear provides an additional layer of physical and verbal comedy. Her subsequent recovery during a walk to the bank is treated with the same light touch that characterizes all of the series' medical gags. The suggestion that exercise restored her hearing is both absurd and oddly plausible within the show's logic. Irene Ryan plays the affliction with a mixture of irritation and theatrical self-pity that never quite tips into pathos. When she later complains that restored hearing is useless without a party line to listen to, the line lands as both punchline and character truth. Granny's identity is bound up with the act of listening. Silence is a form of deprivation. The broader cultural resonance of the party line sequence is considerable. In the mid-1960s, the telephone was undergoing rapid transformation. Direct dialing, private lines, and the beginnings of the modern telecommunications infrastructure were reshaping American social life. The party line, once a practical necessity in rural areas, had become a symbol of backwardness. By placing Granny's longing for it at the center of the narrative, the series quietly questions the assumption that technological progress is always synonymous with human improvement. The shared line fostered a form of community that private lines actively discouraged. Granny's desire is therefore not regressive, it is a yearning for connection in an increasingly atomized world. The blackout that results from Jethro's efforts can be read as a metaphor for the disruption that occurs when older ways of being collide with newer systems. The neighborhood's loss of power is temporary, but the questions the sequence raises about progress and community linger. Performance choices throughout the sequence reward repeated viewing. Max Baer Jr. A.'s physical commitment to the pole climbing and wire selection business is matched by his vocal commitment to Jethro's cheerful incompetence. Irene Ryan's oscillations between rapture, deafness and indignation are a masterclass in comic elasticity. Buddy Ebsen remains the still center his reactions, providing the audience with a reliable moral compass. Nancy Culp's Miss Jane, though less central in this stretch, continues to register the polite horror of the urban professional confronted with rural improvisation. Raymond Bailey's Drysdale is allowed to be both ridiculous and strangely effective, a combination that keeps the character from becoming a mere caricature. As the sequence draws toward its temporary resolution, Drysdale's threats issued the telephone company temporarily cowed Granny. Still without her party line, the series has once again demonstrated its central gift. It can take a simple object, an old crank telephone, and spin from it a meditation on technology, community power, and belonging. The laughter is constant, but it is laughter that never distances the audience from the characters. We laugh with Granny's longing, with Jethro's efforts, with Drysdale's bluster, and with the neighborhood's temporary descent into darkness. In doing so, we are invited to consider what might be lost when the humming wires of the old party line fall silent forever. The Clampetts, in their stubborn insistence on bringing the past into the present, remind us that progress without memory is a form of forgetting. And in the hands of this remarkable ensemble, that reminder is delivered with joy, precision, and an enduring affection for the human comedy in all its tangled, electrified glory. The cooking contest plot that unfolds in these early fifth season episodes stands as one of the Beverly Hillbillies' most sustained examinations of ambition, deception, and maternal devotion. Granny's decision to enter her own creation, Snyder's surprise under Ellie Mae's name, is presented not as simple fraud but as an act of desperate love. A last-ditch effort to secure a husband for a granddaughter she fears is slipping into permanent spinsterhood. The sequence that follows, telegram confrontation, feigned illness, corporate visitation, and moral reckoning, allows the series to explore the tension between rural pragmatism and urban notions of honesty, all while delivering some of its richest character comedy. Irene Ryan's Granny is at her most formidable and most vulnerable here, and the ensemble rises to meet her energy with precision and warmth. The plot is set in motion by a telegram addressed to Ellie Mae Clampett in care of the Commerce Bank. Miss Jane reads it aloud and the news lands like a thunderclap. Ellie Mae has won a national cooking contest sponsored by the Savory Soup Company. Granny's immediate reaction is one of triumphant confirmation rather than surprise. "That ain't no mistake," she declares. "I know Ellie would win that contest 'cause I made the soup myself." The admission is delivered with the casual pride of a woman who sees no meaningful distinction between her own culinary skill and her granddaughter's public credit. In Granny's moral universe, the end, securing a husband for Ellie Mae, justifies the means. The series treats this logic with affectionate complexity. It never fully endorses the deception, yet it refuses to condemn the love that motivates it. Paul Henning and his writers understood that Granny's schemes, however ethically elastic, always sprang from a fierce protectiveness that audiences recognized as fundamentally maternal. Jed's response is the moral counterweight. Buddy Ebsen plays the moment with the quiet gravity that defined his performance. "Granny, it ain't honest," he says, the words carrying the full weight of a man whose integrity has never been for sale. When Granny protests that the publicity will bring suitors like crows in a corn husking, Jed remains unmoved. The exchange is a classic Hillbillies confrontation between two equally strong wills. Granny's utilitarian cunning and Jed's unyielding sense of right. Ebsen's delivery is never harsh, it is the patient firmness of a son-in-law who has spent years navigating his mother-in-law's storms. The scene gains additional power from the historical context of the mid-1960s, a period when questions of authenticity and image were becoming increasingly central to American public life. Television itself was transforming the relationship between private skill and public presentation. Granny's willingness to manufacture a cooking celebrity anticipates the later rise of lifestyle branding, even as the series gently mocks the absurdity of the enterprise. Granny's subsequent campaign to keep the deception alive is a masterclass in comic manipulation. Faced with Jed's determination to withdraw Ellie Mae from the contest, she resorts to the oldest weapon in her arsenal, the suggestion of imminent mortality. Here it goes again, that terrible stabbing pain, she announces. "I ain't long for this world, Jed." The performance is pure Irene Ryan Yachin, equal parts pathos and theatrical calculation. She claims she wishes only to see her great-granddaughter married before she goes to her reward, a line that manages to be both shameless and oddly moving. Jed's weary interrogation, "Slipping fast are you?" reveals a man who has heard this aria before. Yet the script allows the possibility that Granny's fear of dying before Ellie Mae is settled is at least partially genuine. The tension between sincerity and strategy is never fully resolved, and that ambiguity is part of the sequence's lasting power. The arrival of the savory soup executives Stephen Clark and the memorably named Roger Dickaback of the advertising firm with the endless string of partners shifts the comedy into a higher gear of corporate absurdity. Their expectation of meeting a refined young heiress who happens to be a culinary genius collides immediately with the reality of Ellie Mae in the kitchen. Donna Douglas plays the encounter with characteristic sweetness and slight bewilderment. When asked for the recipe, Ellie Mae's honest inability to provide one is covered by Granny's rapid improvisation. The soup is a family secret handed down word of mouth. The suggestion that Ellie Mae should demonstrate the recipe on television with Granny standing by to hand her a dab of this and a smidgen of that is both practical and hilariously transparent. The executive's growing suspicion that something is amiss is played with the delicate timing of farce. Their attempts to secure signatures for releases and authorizations founder on the question of Ellie Mae's age, Granny's sudden claim that the sweet child is just barely past 14 being a particularly audacious flourish. Mr. Drysdale's entanglement in the scheme reveals the banker's perpetual willingness to compromise principle for the sake of keeping the Clampett fortune within his institution. When Granny pressures him to forge Jed's signature, the moral stakes escalate. Raymond Bailey plays Drysdale's panic with sweaty precision. The prospect of prison for forgery is weighed against the potential loss of $60 million, and the banker's calculation is instantaneous. His subsequent performance as a reluctant intermediary persuading the executives that the Clampetts are very clannish and require the bond of shared banking allows the series to satirize the ways in which money creates its own ethics. The demand that the soup company and the advertising agency open substantial accounts is pure Drysdale, the conversion of a personal favor into institutional profit, yet even here the comedy remains affectionate. Drysdale's corruption is never portrayed as malicious, it is the logical extension of a man whose identity is inseparable from the deposits he controls. The sequence reaches its temporary climax in the aborted television demonstration. Granny's opening address to all you folks out there in television land is a comic gem. Her description of Snyder's surprise as a soup made from all the critters who live in Snyder's swamp landing with perfect deadpan. The interruption by Ellie Mae, the rapid improvisation about gator stuff, and the eventual collapse of the enterprise into chaos, exemplify the series' gift for letting carefully constructed plans unravel under the pressure of reality. Throughout, the writing maintains a delicate balance. The fraud is never celebrated, yet the love that drives it is never dismissed. Granny's methods are questionable, her motives are pure. In the broader context of 1960s television, the cooking contest plot engages with contemporary anxieties about authenticity, celebrity, and the commercialization of domestic skill. The rise of televised cooking shows and national recipe contests had already begun to transform the home kitchen into a potential stage. Granny's scheme is both a parody of that transformation and a strangely prophetic vision of it. By placing a hill country recipe at the center of a corporate publicity campaign, the series asks what happens when rural knowledge is extracted, branded, and sold. The answer, in true Hillbillies fashion, is comedy first and contemplation second. Performance after performance elevates the material. Irene Ryan's ability to shift from triumphant schemer to dying grandmother to television host within a few scenes is a testament to her extraordinary range. Buddy Ebsen's moral steadfastness provides the necessary ballast. Donna Douglas's Ellie Mae remains the innocent at the center of the storm, her genuine lack of culinary ambition making the fraud all the more poignant. The supporting players, Bailey's Drysdale Culp's Miss Jane. The visiting executives complete a tapestry of competing agendas that never loses its human warmth. As the soup contest plot temporarily resolves in confession and withdrawal, the series has once again demonstrated its central insight that the Clampetts' greatest strength is not their fortune but their refusal to let the values of the marketplace fully colonize their hearts. Granny's fraud is forgiven not because it succeeds but because it fails in a way that reaffirms the family's underlying honesty. In the end, Snyder's surprise remains what it always was: a private creation of the Hills, not a public commodity. And in that quiet reclamation, the Beverly Hillbillies offers one of its most enduring affirmations of the difference between what can be sold and what must be kept. Granny's determination to transform Ellie Mae into a television cooking star represents one of the most sustained and revealing character arcs in these early fifth-season episodes. What begins as a simple desire to attract suitors evolves into an elaborate campaign involving corporate executives, forged signatures, reluctant bankers, and a grandmother's unshakable belief that public exposure is the surest path to private happiness. The sequence allows the Beverly Hillbillies to examine the intersection of rural matchmaking traditions and the emerging celebrity culture of the 1960s, all while remaining firmly rooted in the affectionate comedy that defined the series. Irene Ryan's performance as Granny reaches a peak of comic intensity here, her schemes growing ever more audacious, even as the moral and practical obstacles multiply. The husband-hunting motive is established with characteristic directness. Granny makes no secret of her agenda. "I'm desperate to get this girl a husband," she confides to Miss Jane, "and winning that contest can do it." The line is delivered without shame or hesitation. In Granny's worldview, a young woman's primary destiny is marriage, and any tool that advances that destiny is legitimate. The series treats this conviction with a mixture of gentle satire and genuine sympathy. Ellie Mae, played by Donna Douglas, with her customary sweetness and quiet independence, shows little personal interest in the publicity. Her repeated expressions of bewilderment, "What cooking contest?" underscore the gap between Granny's ambitions and her granddaughter's actual desires. Yet the writing never reduces Granny to a mere busybody. Her urgency is framed as the product of a lifetime spent in a culture where unmarried women past a certain age faced limited options. The mid-1960s were a period of rapid change in gender roles, and Granny's old-fashioned urgency collides productively with the more fluid possibilities of Beverly Hills life. The arrival of the Savory Soup Company representatives intensifies the stakes. Stephen Clark and the advertising executive, whose firm name stretches into comic absurdity, Dickaback Breedlove, Burnett Henderson, Postlethwaite Johnson, Northcross, and Weston, arrive expecting a polished young heiress. Instead, they encounter Ellie Mae in the kitchen and Granny in full promotional mode. Granny's rapid reframing of the situation is a masterclass in improvisation. When Ellie Mae cannot provide the recipe, Granny declares it a family secret handed down word of mouth. When the executives suggest using their own home economist, Granny insists that only she can properly assist. The suggestion that Ellie Mae appear on television with Granny handing you things helping you is both practical and transparently self-serving. Ryan plays these moments with a combination of grandmotherly warmth and ruthless salesmanship that never quite tips into villainy. The audience is invited to laugh at the scheme while still recognizing the love that fuels it. The problem of legal authorization produces some of the sequence's richest farce. The executives require signatures from Ellie Mae's parents. Granny's sudden claim that the sweet child is just barely past 14 is an audacious attempt to seize control of the paperwork. When that fails, she offers to sign herself, only to be stymied by the insistence on Jed's signature. The subsequent campaign to obtain that signature, first through emotional manipulation, then through an attempt to recruit Mr. Drysdale as a forger, reveals the full extent of Granny's determination. Her threat to pack up and return to the Hills if Ellie Mae does not appear on television is delivered with the full force of Irene Ryan's formidable presence. 4 years in Beverly Hills is enough, she declares. Buddy Ebsen's Jed, caught between his mother-in-law's intensity and his own moral code, becomes the still center of the storm. His resistance is never angry, it is the quiet insistence of a man who refuses to let love justify dishonesty. Mr. Drysdale's involvement deepens the satirical dimension of the plot. Raymond Bailey plays the banker's moral panic with sweaty precision. When Granny demands that he impersonate Jed and forge the signature, Drysdale's horror is palpable. The calculation that follows prison for forgery versus the potential loss of the Clampett fortune is pure character comedy. His eventual decision to pressure the soup company and the advertising agency into opening substantial accounts at his bank converts a personal crisis into an institutional opportunity. The sequence gently mocks the way money creates its own ethical flexibility. Drysdale does not forge the signature, yet he finds another way to make the deal work, one that happens to benefit his own bottom line. The comedy resides in the banker's ability to rationalize almost any compromise in the name of preserving the deposits that define his identity. Miss Jane's peripheral role in these scenes provides a necessary counterpoint of urban propriety. Nancy Culp's performance registers the secretary's growing alarm at the ethical corners being cut. Her attempts to rein in both Granny and Drysdale are repeatedly overwhelmed by the force of the Clampett personalities. The dynamic is familiar yet freshly entertaining, the professional woman of the city, trying and failing to impose order on the improvisational logic of the Hills. The temporary resolution of the television scheme, Jed's eventual reluctant cooperation under pressure, the promise of a taping session, the partial satisfaction of Granny's ambitions allows the series to explore the costs of success. Ellie Mae's lack of enthusiasm for her new role as the savory soup girl is never ignored. Donna Douglas plays the character's discomfort with subtle precision, her smiles never quite reaching her eyes. The series refuses to pretend that Granny's victory is uncomplicated. Publicity may attract suitors, but it also exposes Ellie Mae to a world of expectations she has never sought. The tension between familial love and individual autonomy is left productively unresolved, a hallmark of the show's more thoughtful episodes. In the cultural context of the mid-1960s, the sequence engages with the rising power of television as a maker of celebrities and a shaper of domestic ideals. Cooking shows and recipe contests were already transforming the private kitchen into a potential public stage. Granny's scheme is both a parody of that transformation and an oddly prescient vision of it. By insisting that a hill country recipe and a hill country girl could become national commodities, the series asks what is gained and what is lost when rural knowledge is extracted for commercial purposes. The answer, delivered through laughter rather than lectures, is characteristically complex. The Clampetts remain themselves even as the machinery of publicity begins to turn around them. Throughout these scenes, the ensemble playing is of the highest order. Irene Ryan's ability to move from tender grandmother to ruthless promoter to theatrical invalid within a single sequence is a testament to her extraordinary comic range. Buddy Ebsen's moral steadiness provides the necessary ballast. Donna Douglas's quiet resistance keeps Ellie Mae from becoming a mere pawn. Raymond Bailey and Nancy Culp complete the circle of competing agendas with precision and warmth. The result is a sustained exploration of ambition, love, and the limits of deception that never loses its essential humanity. As the television dreams temporarily recede, the series has once again affirmed its central insight that the Clampetts' greatest strength lies not in their ability to conquer the modern world but in their refusal to let that world fully redefine them. Granny's scheme may have brought Ellie Mae to the edge of stardom, but the family's deeper values, honesty, loyalty, and the quiet dignity of private life ultimately reassert themselves. In that reassertion, the Beverly Hillbillies offers one of its most enduring celebrations of the difference between the fame that can be manufactured and the character that must be lived. Jethro Bodine's decision to seek romantic instruction from the movie star Rip Rock inaugurates one of the most endearing and sustained comic arcs in these early fifth-season episodes. What begins as a simple request for advice on how to court the drive-in waitress Susie expands into a full-scale education in Hollywood notions of sophistication, complete with scripted lines, cologne, candlelight protocols, and the first-to-fifth inevitable collision between cinematic fantasy and Clampett reality. Max Baer Jr.'s performance as the eager pupil is a masterclass in good-natured denseness. While the sequences themselves allow the Beverly Hillbillies to gently satirize the manufactured romance of popular culture without ever losing affection for its wide-eyed protagonist. The result is a sustained exploration of innocence, confronting artifice played with the warmth and precision that defined the series at its best. The motivation is established with characteristic clarity. Jethro has fallen hard for Susie, the young woman who serves him hamburgers and French fries at the drive-in. His description of her charms is pure Jethro poetry, the little dabs of ketchup on her apron and the pickle relish on her fingers that drive him mad. The lines are delivered with such earnest enthusiasm that the audience cannot help but share in his infatuation even as they recognize its comic exaggeration. When Jed confesses that his own courting days are too distant to be of practical use, Jethro seizes on the suggestion that he consult the ladies' man Rip Rock. The moment is a perfect distillation of the character's logic. If one wishes to learn a skill, one goes to the acknowledged expert regardless of how incongruous the expert may be. The first lesson takes place in Dash's apartment, a setting that immediately establishes the cultural distance between teacher and pupil. Dash, portrayed as the quintessential Hollywood leading man, confident, slightly bored and accustomed to female attention, attempts to impart the basics of modern courtship. The opening gambit is a simple request for a date. Jethro's initial effort, "Hey, let's you and me go out spooning," is rejected as too direct. Dash substitutes a more polished alternative. "Let's make this our evening to remember." Max Baer Jr. repeats the line with the concentrated effort of a student memorizing a foreign language, his face alight with the conviction that he has just acquired a powerful new tool. The comedy resides in the gap between the line's intended sophistication and Jethro's artless delivery. What sounds smooth in Dash's mouth becomes endearingly clumsy in Jethro's. The instruction continues with the choreography of a proper evening. Dash outlines a sequence involving a candlelight dinner for two, soft music, and the strategic placement of an arm around the lady's shoulders. Jethro's attempts to absorb these details are interrupted by his own literal-mindedness. When Dash mentions lighting the flames, Jethro's immediate association is with cooking rather than atmosphere. The misunderstanding is pure Hillbillies gold. The rural character translating urban romantic ritual into the practical language of the kitchen. Baer's physical comedy in these moments, his eager leaning forward, his furrowed concentration, his sudden bursts of triumphant repetition, elevates the material beyond simple verbal humor. The audience watches a young man genuinely trying to improve himself, and the effort is never mocked. The cologne sequence provides one of the arc's most memorable visual gags. Jethro, determined to project sophistication, applies a scent called Kissing the Lilacs with catastrophic generosity. The fact that the fragrance is intended for women only deepens the joke. When he later explains to Susie that he threw it on extra lot because she is a woman, the line lands with perfect innocence. The moment encapsulates the series' gift for allowing its characters to remain true to themselves even while attempting transformation. Jethro does not become a Hollywood smoothie. He becomes a hillbilly attempting to become a Hollywood smoothie, and the distinction is everything. Poetry enters the curriculum when Jethro latches onto the lines, "How do I love thee, let me count the ways." The Elizabethan sonnet filtered through Jethro's earnest repetition becomes both comic and strangely touching. He practices the lines on his dog Duke on empty air and eventually in the general direction of Susie. The repetition allows the audience to savor the incongruity of high literary language in the mouth of a character whose natural idiom is pure Ozark. Yet the series never treats the effort as purely ridiculous. Jethro's sincerity redeems the pretension. In an era when popular culture was increasingly saturated with manufactured images of romance, the sequence quietly affirms the value of genuine feeling, however awkwardly expressed. The broader cultural resonance of the love lesson arc is considerable. The mid-1960s saw the full flowering of Hollywood's influence on American courtship norms. Movies and television had long provided templates for romantic behavior. By the time of these episodes, those templates had become so pervasive that a young man like Jethro could imagine that studying them might solve his personal difficulties. The series treats this faith with gentle skepticism. Dash Rip Rock is no true mentor. He is a professional performer whose own romantic life is implied to be as scripted as his films. By placing Jethro under his tutelage, the show explores the gap between cinematic fantasy and lived experience. The lessons fail not because Jethro is incapable of learning but because the curriculum itself is hollow. Throughout these scenes, the supporting performances provide essential texture. Buddy Ebsen's Jed observes his nephew's education with a mixture of amusement and mild concern, his occasional interjections grounding the fantasy in familial reality. Donna Douglas's Ellie Mae appears in related sequences with her customary warmth, offering a quiet counterpoint to the more theatrical proceedings. The recurring presence of Miss Jane, whose own complicated feelings about Jethro surface in moments of panic and fascination, adds another layer of romantic complication. Nancy Culp plays these beats with the precise blend of attraction and horror that made the character so enduring. As the lessons progress, the audience is invited to recognize that Jethro's true appeal has never resided in sophistication. His value lies in his transparency, his enthusiasm, and his fundamental kindness. The more he attempts to become like Dash Riprock, the more the series affirms the superiority of the original. This is the quiet moral of the arc, that authenticity, even when clumsy, possesses a power that manufactured charm cannot match. In an age increasingly dominated by image, the Beverly Hillbillies continued to celebrate substance. The love lesson sequences also showcase the series' gift for physical and situational comedy. Jethro's attempts to practice the prescribed moves, sitting on the sofa dimming imaginary lights, delivering lines with what he believes is the correct inflection, create a running visual motif of earnest failure. Max Baer Jr. commits fully to every gesture, never protecting himself from the comedy of the situation. The result is a performance that feels both larger than life and deeply human. By the time the formal instruction begins to yield real-world consequences in subsequent scenes, the foundation has been laid for some of the series' most sustained romantic farce. Yet even in isolation, the love lesson material stands as a complete and satisfying unit, a warm, detailed, and ultimately affectionate examination of one young man's attempt to bridge the distance between the hills and one, Hollywood. In Jethro's eager apprenticeship, the Beverly Hillbillies once again found comedy in the collision of worlds and humanity in the collision of hearts. Jethro Bodine's acquisition of the passionate purple convertible and the subsequent double-date disaster at the drive-in theater represent a high watermark of physical and situational comedy in these early, fifth-season episodes. What begins as an attempt to project worldliness, savoir-faire, sophistication collapses into a cascade of mechanical failure, romantic miscalculation, and pure clampett chaos. Max Baer Jr. As performance as the proud new owner of the flashy automobile is a study in unbridled enthusiasm meeting immediate comeuppance, while the sequences themselves allow the Beverly Hillbillies to explore the gap between Hollywood-inspired image and the stubborn realities of both machinery and human connection. The result is a sustained comic set piece that remains as fresh and affectionate today as it was in the mid-1960s. The convertible itself is introduced with the full force of Jethro's salesman's pride. Having been advised by Rip Rock that a young man needs to project an image, Jethro has purchased the vehicle for $75, a bargain he defends with the unshakable confidence of a man who has never met a deal he did not like. The color is passionate purple, a designation that Jethro repeats with the reverence usually reserved for fine livestock. The chrome is abundant, the lines are flashy, and the overall effect is precisely the sort of ostentatious display that a hillbilly interpreting Hollywood glamour might produce. Max Baer Jr. invests the presentation with pure delight. His chest expands, his grin widens, and his voice rises with the conviction that he has finally acquired the external marker of the sophisticated man he aspires to become. The audience, of course, recognizes the automobile as a rolling disaster waiting to happen, and that recognition only heightens the pleasure of the ensuing sequences. The first approach to Susie at the drive-in is a masterclass in the collision between rehearsed lines and natural speech. Jethro, consulting the notes he has taken from delivers the carefully prepared opener, "Let's make this our evening to remember." Susie's immediate response, "Go jump in the lake," is both crushing and perfectly timed. Yet the revelation that Rip Rock is involved in the planned double date transforms her rejection into sudden interest. The shift is pure farce, and Baer plays Jethro's whiplash of emotion with endearing transparency. One moment he is the rejected suitor, the next he is the man who can deliver a genuine movie star. The comedy resides not in cruelty but in the speed with which romantic fortunes can reverse when Hollywood fantasy enters the equation. The double date itself, Jethro and Susie paired with and Ellie Mae, unfolds as a symphony of escalating catastrophe. The convertible's mechanical unreliability announces itself almost immediately. The engine falls out, the power top refuses to cooperate. The speaker cord at the drive-in is pulled free. Each failure is treated with the series' characteristic blend of physical precision and character-driven reaction. Jethro's attempts to maintain an air of worldly nonchalance while crawling under the car or wrestling with the malfunctioning top are pure visual gold. Max Baer Jr. commits fully to the physical comedy, never protecting the character's dignity at the expense of the laugh. The result is a performance that feels both larger than life and deeply rooted in the reality of a young man watching his carefully constructed image disintegrate in real time. The movie itself, an apparent creature feature involving a swamp monster and a giant squid, provides an additional layer of comic counterpoint. Jethro's determination to wait for the love scenes is repeatedly thwarted by the actual content of the film and by the mounting disasters surrounding the car. Dash's increasingly desperate attempts to coach Jethro in the proper romantic moves, "Put your arms around her. Say some of the things I told you," are delivered with the weary patience of a professional who has begun to regret his pedagogical enthusiasm. Ellie Mae, played by Donna Douglas with her customary quiet amusement, observes the chaos with the detached affection of a cousin who has seen Jethro through many such schemes. Susie's growing preference for the swamp monster over her human date is the final perfect insult. Throughout the sequence, the series maintains its gentle satirical edge. The passionate purple convertible is more than a prop. It is a symbol of the manufactured image that Jethro has been encouraged to adopt. Its rapid disintegration serves as a visual metaphor for the fragility of that image. In the mid-1960s, when American car culture was at its zenith and the automobile had become a primary marker of masculine identity and romantic success, the Clampetts' inability to keep their flashy vehicle operational carries a quiet cultural charge. The series does not lecture, it simply allows the comedy to reveal the gap between aspiration and reality. The aftermath of the date extends the comedy into the following morning. The discovery of the drive shaft lying in the street, the report that the car has been towed, and Jethro's eventual decision to have the entire vehicle compacted into one big hunk form a complete narrative arc of rise and fall. Buddy Ebsen's Jed observes the wreckage with the patient sympathy of a man who has watched his nephew's enthusiasms crash before. His suggestion that the car, rather than Jethro's fundamental nature, was the primary obstacle is both kind and accurate. The moment allows the series to reaffirm its central faith in character over external trappings. Performance choices throughout the drive-in disaster elevate the material. Max Baer Jr.'s ability to remain endearing while the world collapses around him is essential. The supporting players, Donna Douglas's calm presence, the implied reactions of Dash, the practical exasperation of the adults who later survey the damage, create a full comic ecosystem. The physical gags are timed with the precision of classic silent comedy, yet they never sacrifice the verbal and character-based humor that was the series' foundation. In the broader context of the Beverly Hillbillies' enduring appeal, the passionate purple convertible sequence stands as a perfect illustration of the show's gift for turning consumer aspiration into comic revelation. Jethro's desire to become the sort of man who drives a flashy car and escorts a pretty girl to the drive-in is entirely understandable. The series allows him that desire, then gently demonstrates that the car is not the man. By the time the vehicle has been reduced to scrap, the audience has been reminded once again that the Clampetts' true value lies not in their ability to acquire the symbols of modernity but in their refusal to let those symbols redefine them. The double-date disaster, for all its chaos, is ultimately a story of resilience. Jethro's spirit is dented but not broken. The family gathers around the wreckage with the same mixture of amusement and support that has always defined their response to one another's misadventures. In that gathering, the Beverly Hillbillies once more affirms its deepest conviction that laughter and loyalty are stronger than any passionate purple promise the modern world can offer. The romantic misadventures of Jethro Bodine reach a new peak of comic invention and emotional transparency in the sequences that follow the drive-in disaster. Having watched his passionate purple convertible reduced to scrap and his carefully rehearsed Hollywood techniques fail spectacularly, Jethro does not abandon the field of courtship. Instead, he doubles down, practicing poetry on his dog, attempting candlelight seduction with 36 hamburgers, and becoming the unwitting center of a taffy-pulling catastrophe that draws in Ellie Mae Rip Rock and a furiously protective Miss Jane Hathaway. These scenes, rich in physical comedy and character revelation, allow the Beverly Hillbillies to explore the resilience of innocence in the face of repeated romantic humiliation. Max Baer Jr. as performance remains the beating heart of the material, his Jethro emerging from each setback with the same open-hearted enthusiasm that makes the character enduringly lovable. The immediate aftermath of the failed double date finds Jethro in a rare moment of discouragement. Seated near the cement pond, he recites the lines he has learned from Dash. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach, not to Susie but to his faithful dog Duke. The image is both comic and oddly touching. The Elizabethan sonnet, already incongruous in Jethro's mouth, becomes doubly so when addressed to a hound. Yet Baer plays the moment without a trace of self-pity. There is genuine feeling in the recitation, a young man's residual hope that the words themselves might still possess power even if the automobile and the drive-in have failed him. Buddy Ebsen's Jed, observing from a distance, responds with the quiet sympathy that defines his relationship with his nephew. His suggestion that the car, rather than Jethro's fundamental nature, was the primary obstacle is both accurate and kind. The exchange reaffirms the series' consistent faith in character over external trappings. The decision to allow Jethro the use of Rip Rock's apartment for an evening represents a new escalation in the education. Dash, perhaps motivated by a mixture of residual responsibility and the desire to clear his own romantic schedule with Ellie Mae, grants the young man the run of his stylish quarters. Jethro's preparation for Susie's arrival is a masterclass in misplaced sophistication. He applies the women's cologne, kissing the lilacs with catastrophic generosity, explaining later that he threw it on extra lot precisely because Susie is a woman. The line is pure Jethro logic, and Baer delivers it with the unshakable conviction of a man who has thought the matter through. When Susie arrives, the apartment becomes a stage for one of the series' most sustained sequences of romantic farce. The taffy-pulling interlude that interrupts the evening is a comic set piece of the highest order. Ellie Mae, determined to create a surprise for Dash, produces a mass of taffy and insists on a traditional pull. The resulting physical entanglement, Dash and Ellie Mae, stuck together unable to free themselves, produces some of the purest visual comedy the series ever achieved. Donna Douglas and the actor portraying Dash commit fully to the physical business. Their struggles both graceful and increasingly desperate. Into this sticky tableau bursts Miss Jane Hathaway, convinced that she must rescue Jethro from the tainted tutelage of that despicable Dash Rip Rock. Nancy Culp's entrance is a whirlwind of moral outrage and poorly concealed personal interest. Her subsequent discovery that Dash is occupied with Ellie Mae, rather than Jethro, only compounds her agitation. The moment when she strikes Dash with an available object described in the script as giving him a clock upside of the head is played with the precise blend of violence and propriety that made Miss Jane such a comic treasure. The entire sequence is a perfect illustration of the series' gift for allowing multiple romantic agendas to collide in a single confined space. Jethro's own attempt to entertain Susie in the apartment continues the theme of earnest failure. Having prepared what he believes is a proper candlelight gourmet supper, he produces 36 hamburgers. The gap between the intended sophistication and the actual offering is enormous, yet Bear plays Jethro's pride in the meal with complete sincerity. When Susie begins to edge toward the door, his desperation becomes palpable. The invitation to watch television, the offer of ice water right out of the tap, and the final plea that they have not yet enjoyed their supper form a cascade of diminishing romantic possibilities. Susie's polite but firm departure leaves Jethro alone with his hamburgers and his disappointment. The image of the young man sitting down to drown his sorrows in hamburger after hamburger is both funny and strangely poignant. The series never allows the comedy to become cruel. Jethro's heartbreak is real, even as the circumstances surrounding it remain absurd. Miss Jane's subsequent intervention in Jethro's apartment produces another layer of romantic complication. Convinced that she must save him from Dash's influence, she demands a demonstration of the lessons he has learned. Jethro's reluctant performance of the prescribed sequence, sitting on the sofa turning on imaginary music, dimming imaginary lights, and delivering the lines about beauty and ravishment, becomes a comic highlight. Max Bear Jr. plays the demonstration with a mixture of embarrassment and residual pride in his education. Nancy Culp's reactions oscillate between fascination and panic, her own complicated feelings about Jethro rising unbidden to the surface. When the demonstration threatens to become too effective for her comfort, she flees, leaving Jethro once more alone with the wreckage of his romantic ambitions. The thematic richness of these sequences resides in their exploration of authenticity versus performance. Jethro has been taught that romance is a set of techniques, a script that can be learned and repeated. Each failure demonstrates the opposite, that genuine connection cannot be manufactured through cologne, poetry, or carefully timed gestures. The series does not mock Jethro for trying, it simply allows the world to instruct him through experience. In the mid-1960s, Jethro, when popular culture was increasingly saturated with images of idealized romance, this insistence on the limits of performance carried a quiet cultural charge. The Beverly Hillbillies continued to affirm that character, not technique, was the foundation of any lasting bond. Throughout these misadventures, the ensemble playing remains exemplary. Max Bear Jr. never loses the essential sweetness that makes Jethro's failures endearing rather than pathetic. Donna Douglas provides a calm center of familial affection. Nancy Culp's Miss Jane continues to be one of the most complex comic creations of the era, her attraction to Jethro forever at war with her sense of propriety and her awareness of the social gulf between them. The recurring presence of Dash Riprock serves as a useful foil, his professional smoothness highlighting by contrast the value of Jethro's transparency. The physical comedy of the taffy sequence and the hamburger supper deserves particular attention. In an era when television comedy often relied heavily on verbal wit, the Beverly Hillbillies insisted on the comedy of bodies in space, bodies stuck together by candy, bodies navigating malfunctioning machinery, bodies attempting to execute romantic choreography with more enthusiasm than grace. The commitment of the performers to this physical dimension elevates the material and connects the series to older traditions of visual comedy. As the romantic misadventures temporarily subside, Jethro remains fundamentally unchanged. His spirit is resilient. His heart, though dented, is unbroken. The family continues to surround him with the same mixture of amusement and support that has always defined their response to one another's schemes. In that continuity, The Beverly Hillbillies once again affirms its deepest conviction that the measure of a person is not the success of any single romantic campaign but the persistence of kindness, enthusiasm, and loyalty in the face of repeated disappointment. Jethro Bodine Taffy's stained hamburger-filled and still reciting poetry to his dog remains one of television's most enduring celebrations of the unconquerable heart. The sequences also invite reflection on the broader cultural moment. The mid-1960s saw the full emergence of a youth culture increasingly shaped by media images of romance and success. Jethro's earnest attempt to inhabit those images and his repeated failure to do so convincingly serves as a gentle critique of the idea that identity can be purchased or performed. The Clampetts' world continues to value substance over style, character over choreography. In allowing Jethro to fail so spectacularly and so affectionately, the series reaffirms that value for a new generation of viewers. Performance after performance deepens the material. Bear's ability to remain completely sincere in the midst of absurdity is essential. The supporting players provide the necessary friction and support. The writing trusts the audience to find both comedy and humanity in the gap between aspiration and reality. The result is a sustained comic meditation on the nature of courtship that remains as fresh and generous today as it was when first broadcast. In the end, the taffy, the poetry, and the heartbreak form a complete and satisfying unit within the larger narrative. They remind us that the Beverly Hillbillies at its best was never merely about the collision of rural and urban worlds. It was about the collision of human hopes with human limitations and the laughter and loyalty that can still flourish in the space between. The arrival of the young woman who calls herself Emmeline Fetty marks a decisive turn in the composite narrative of these early fifth-season episodes, shifting the comedy from romantic misadventure and culinary fraud into the darker, though still warmly comic territory of calculated deception. What the Clampett family receives as a homesick girl from Possum Ridge is in reality a skilled confidence artist whose purpose is to extract $1 million through manufactured scandal. The sequences surrounding her entrance and early residence in the mansion allow the Beverly Hillbillies to explore the vulnerability that accompanies the family's open-hearted hospitality, the ease with which rural markers of identity can be performed, and the enduring tension between appearance and authenticity that has always animated the series. Max Baer Jr., Buddy Ebsen, Irene Ryan, and Donna Douglas respond to the newcomer with the full range of their established characterizations, while the writing carefully plants the seeds of the blackmail plot without ever sacrificing the essential generosity of tone that defined the show. Emmeline's first appearance is staged with the deliberate pacing of classic farce. She arrives on foot, a modest figure seeking the Clampett place, and is greeted by Jed and Jethro with the immediate recognition that she is one of Jake Fetty's girls. The name Possum Ridge functions as a password. In the moral geography of the series, shared geography implies shared values. Jed's welcome is instantaneous and absolute. "Come on in," he says. The invitation carrying the full weight of hill country hospitality. Buddy Ebsen plays the moment with the quiet authority that makes Jed the moral center of every episode. There is no hesitation, no request for credentials beyond the mention of the old home place. The family's wealth has not taught them suspicion. If anything, it has reinforced their determination to remain the people they were before the oil came in. Jethro's reaction adds a layer of personal history that is both comic and revealing. He remembers the Fetty girls primarily as targets for the rocks he once threw. "I used to chuck rocks at them," he announces with the cheerful candor that is his hallmark. The line lands as pure character comedy. Max Baer Jr. delivers it without a trace of embarrassment, as if the admission were a form of affectionate greeting. The moment underscores how completely Jethro has remained himself despite years in Beverly Hills. The same young man who once pelted the Fetty girls with stones now stands ready to carry their supposed sister's bags upstairs. Continuity of character, the series suggests, is a form of integrity. Granny's response is more complicated and therefore more richly comic. Irene Ryan plays the older woman's struggle to place the newcomer's face with a brilliant mixture of pride and frustration. "I never forget a face," she insists, launching into a rapid catalog of possible identities: Isabel Gooch, Freda Boggs, Fanny Bell Mickle, before Jed finally supplies the correct information. The sequence is a masterclass in the comedy of failed memory. Ryan's mounting indignation at her own momentary lapse, followed by her gracious recovery once the name is provided, allows the audience to enjoy the character's vanity without ever losing affection for her. When she finally welcomes Emmeline, the acceptance is complete. The girl is installed in the spare room next to Ellie Mae's, and the household expands with the same unreflective generosity that has always defined it. The early signs that Emmeline is not what she seems are planted with delicate precision. Her reaction to Ellie Mae's bathing suit is the first clear discordant note. "My goodness, y'all sure wear short dresses out here," she observes, and later expresses shock at the idea of swimming in anything less than full coverage. The performance of rural modesty is slightly too emphatic, yet the Clampetts, conditioned by their own values, read it as authentic. Donna Douglas's Ellie Mae responds with patient explanation, treating the newcomer's discomfort as the natural product of a more sheltered upbringing. The series allows the audience to see the calculation while the family sees only kinship. This double vision is essential to the comedy and to the eventual moral reckoning. The cuckoo clock that Emmeline brings with her functions as both prop and symbol. She claims it was intended to wake her in the absence of a rooster, a detail that lands as pure hill country logic. Yet the clock's later role as a hidden camera will reveal its true purpose. Even in these early scenes, the object is invested with a faint unease. Jed's attempt to fix it and Emmeline's sudden panic when he moves to take it downstairs are played with the lightest of touches. The audience is invited to notice the discrepancy without the family yet perceiving it. Paul Henning and his writers understood that the most effective long-form deception is one that remains invisible to the characters who matter most. Emmeline's reluctance to leave her room in a bathing suit produces one of the sequence's most sustained comic passages. She refuses to appear until Jed himself comes upstairs and personally assures her that the garment is acceptable. The scene that follows is a delicate balance of farce and character revelation. Emmeline, standing in the doorway in the borrowed suit, performs elaborate display of modesty and shame. "Gracious, and I'm standing here, my bare limbs showing," she declares. "Why? I'm so ashamed." Buddy Ebsen's Jed responds with the awkward kindness of a man who has never quite adjusted to the freer customs of Beverly Hills yet has learned to accept them. His attempt to reassure her is interrupted by her sudden request that he leave the door open, her comparison of him to her own father, and her insistence that she trusts him completely. The performance of vulnerability is skillful, and Ebsen plays Jed's growing discomfort with subtle precision. The audience watches a good man being carefully maneuvered, and the comedy is tempered by a faint undercurrent of concern. The telephone call that Emmeline makes in private. "They fell for it hook, line, and spare room" is the first explicit confirmation of the con. The line is delivered with cool professional satisfaction. The research into the Fetty family has been thorough. The performance of rural identity has been convincing enough to secure a place inside the mansion. The moment is chilling precisely because it is so matter of fact. The series has always thrived on the collision between sincerity and calculation. Here the calculation has entered the household itself. Jethro's subsequent interactions with Emmeline continue the pattern of innocent misreading. He attempts to educate her in the ways of Beverly Hills, proudly displaying his watch with the Mickey Mouse hands and recounting his own transformation from regular hayseed to man of the world. Max Baer Jr. plays these moments with complete sincerity. Jethro sees in Emmeline a version of his earlier self and responds with the generous impulse to help. The irony is rich. The young man who has spent years failing to become sophisticated is now offering sophistication to a woman whose entire presence is a sophisticated performance. The comedy resides in the gap between his self-perception and the reality of the situation. Throughout these early scenes, the series maintains its characteristic warmth, even as it introduces genuine threat. The Clampetts' hospitality is never portrayed as foolishness. It is the logical extension of the values that have always defined them. In the mid-1960s, when American culture was increasingly preoccupied with questions of authenticity, identity, and the performance of self, the Emmeline plot allowed the show to explore those questions through the lens of its established characters. The family's inability to detect the fraud is not a failure of intelligence, it is the price of remaining open-hearted in a world that rewards suspicion. The supporting textures of the sequence deepen the portrait. Granny's fierce protectiveness once Emmeline is accepted as immediate and absolute. Ellie Mae's quiet friendliness provides a counterpoint of genuine sisterly feeling. Jethro's romantic imagination, already primed by his recent failures with Susie, begins to invent a mutual attraction that exists primarily in his own mind. Each character responds to the newcomer according to the logic of their established personality. And that consistency makes the eventual revelations more powerful. The cultural resonance of the Possum Ridge connection is considerable. For the Clampetts, the name of the old home place functions as an almost sacred bond. Shared geography implies shared morality. Emmeline's ability to invoke that bond so effectively speaks to the power of the rural ideal even in the heart of Beverly Hills. The series never mocks the ideal, it simply demonstrates how easily it can be counterfeited by those who study its markers. In doing so, it raises a quiet question about the nature of belonging itself. As Emmeline settles into the spare room and the household adjusts to her presence, the stage is set for the more elaborate deceptions that will follow. Yet even in these opening movements, the essential themes are fully present: the vulnerability of generosity, the performance of identity, the enduring strength of the family's values, even when those values place them at risk. The Beverly Hillbillies, at this stage of its long run, had lost none of its ability to balance laughter with deeper observation. The arrival of the con artist from Possum Ridge is both a comic premise and a moral test, and the series meets it with the same combination of warmth, precision, and humanity that had always been its hallmark. The performances in these scenes reward close attention. Buddy Ebsen's Jed remains the still center, his hospitality absolute and his discomfort subtle. Irene Ryan's Granny oscillates between failed memory and fierce acceptance with undiminished energy. Max Baer Jr. continues to find new shades of innocence in Jethro's responses. Donna Douglas provides a quiet baseline of genuine kindness. The actress portraying Emmeline walks the difficult line between convincing performance and slight excess, allowing the audience to see the calculation while the family does not. The result is a sustained and satisfying introduction to one of the series' more intricate comic plots. In the end, Emmeline Fetty's arrival is less about the success of a con than about the character of the people being conned. The Clampetts open their home because that is who they are. The series celebrates that openness even as it prepares to test it. In the gap between the family's sincerity and the newcomer's calculation, the Beverly Hillbillies once again finds both its comedy and its heart. The blackmail plot that gathers force around the cuckoo clock and the manufactured compromising pictures represents one of the most intricately constructed comic thriller sequences in these early fifth-season episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies. What begins as a seemingly innocent piece of hill country hardware, an old-fashioned cuckoo clock brought by the supposed Emmeline Fetty to wake her in the absence of a rooster, is gradually revealed as a sophisticated surveillance device. The photographs and tape recordings it helps produce become the instruments of an attempted extortion that tests the Clampett family's open-hearted hospitality against the calculated cynicism of the modern confidence game. Throughout these scenes, the series maintains its characteristic warmth and moral clarity, allowing the audience to watch the machinery of deception assemble itself while never losing affection for the characters being deceived. The result is a sustained exploration of appearance versus reality, of rural trust confronting urban guile, and of the enduring strength of the family's values even when those values place them in genuine peril. The cuckoo clock first appears as a comic prop of the purest Hillbillies variety. Emmeline presents it with the explanation that Jed had fixed it long ago so that she might be awakened without a rooster, a detail that lands as pure Ozark logic. The family accepts the object without suspicion. In the moral universe of the series, a gift from someone who claims the shared geography of Possum Ridge carries an almost sacred presumption of good faith. Buddy Ebsen's Jed examines the clock with the practical interest of a man who has spent a lifetime repairing what is broken. His offer to take it downstairs and fix it again is met with Emmeline's sudden, poorly concealed panic. The moment is played with delicate precision. The audience is invited to notice the discrepancy of the clock that must not leave the room, while the family continues to read the situation through the lens of their own generosity. Paul Henning and his writers understood that the most effective long-form deception is one that remains invisible to the very people whose virtues make the deception possible. The private telephone call that follows, "They fell for it hook, line, and spare room," is the first explicit confirmation that the audience has been watching a performance. The line is delivered with the cool satisfaction of a professional who has completed the first phase of an operation. The research into the Fetty family has been thorough. The markers of rural identity have been studied and reproduced with enough accuracy to secure a place inside the mansion. The moment carries a faint chill precisely because it is so matter-of-fact. The series has always thrived on the collision between sincerity and calculation. Here the calculation has entered the household itself and begun to rearrange the furniture. The production of the compromising pictures unfolds with the careful logic of classic farce edged with genuine threat. Emmeline's elaborate performance of modesty, her refusal to appear in a bathing suit until Jed himself comes upstairs to authorize it, her declarations of shame at the exposure of her bare limbs, her insistence that the door remain open, her comparison of Jed to her own father creates a series of carefully staged tableaus. Each moment is designed to look, when photographed, like the predatory advances of an older man upon a vulnerable young woman. Buddy Ebsen plays Jed's growing discomfort with subtle mastery. The character is never less than kind, never less than awkward in the face of the girl's apparent distress. The audience watches a good man being maneuvered into positions that can be made to look anything but good. The comedy is tempered by an undercurrent of real concern. The series allows us to laugh at the mechanics of the setup while remaining fully aware of the moral danger it represents. The cuckoo clock's role as a hidden camera is never belabored. The writing trusts the audience to understand the device's true function once the later photographs appear. The object that was introduced as a charming piece of rural eccentricity is revealed as an instrument of surveillance, a perfect emblem of the way the modern world can hollow out the meanings of older forms. In the mid-1960s, when questions of privacy image and the manipulation of appearance were becoming increasingly central to American public life, the clock carries a quiet cultural resonance. The series does not lecture, it simply allows the prop to perform its double function and lets the implications unfold through character and consequence. Jethro's parallel misreading of the situation adds a layer of pure character comedy that prevents the sequence from becoming too dark. Having already failed with Susie, he begins to invent a mutual romantic interest between himself and Emmeline. His attempts to impress her with his watch, his stories of personal transformation from regular hayseed to man of the world, and his cheerful assumption that she is crazy mad desperate in love with him are played by Max Baer Jr. with complete sincerity. The irony is rich and multi-layered. The young man who has spent years failing to acquire sophistication is now offering that same sophistication to a woman whose entire presence is a sophisticated performance. Jethro sees kinship. The audience sees calculation. The gap between those two perceptions is the source of both the comedy and the eventual pathos. Granny's response to the newcomer remains fiercely protective once the initial struggle with memory is resolved. Irene Ryan plays the older woman's acceptance as absolute. Emmeline is installed in the spare room included in the life of the household and defended against any suggestion of irregularity. The same ferocity that once drove Granny to enter a cooking contest under false pretenses now operates to shield the supposed girl from Possum Ridge. The consistency of character is absolute. Granny's values do not change simply because the object of her protection is undeserving. The series celebrates that consistency even as it prepares to test it. Ellie Mae's quiet friendliness provides a counterpoint of genuine sisterly feeling. Donna Douglas plays the character's openness without a trace of suspicion. In Ellie Mae's presence, the performance of rural modesty must be maintained with particular care, and the actress portraying Emmeline walks that line with skill. The moments of shared conversation about bathing suits and swimming in the cement pond are layered with double meaning for the audience while remaining entirely single-minded for the characters. The broader thematic work of these scenes is considerable. The Beverly Hillbillies had always been a show about the collision of value systems. Here the collision is internalized. The family's greatest strength, their refusal to abandon the open-handed hospitality of the Hills, becomes the very quality that places them at risk. The series does not suggest that they should become more suspicious. It simply observes with a mixture of affection and clear-eyed realism the cost of remaining who they are in a world that rewards those who perform identity rather than inhabit it. In the cultural context of the mid-1960s, when American life was increasingly mediated by images and when questions of authenticity were becoming urgent across politics, advertising, and personal relations, the blackmail plot allowed the show to explore those questions through the lens of its established characters and values. The technical construction of the sequence deserves attention. The writing plants its clues with care: the clock that cannot leave the room, the telephone call that confirms the con, the carefully staged moments of apparent intimacy, the growing stack of photographs that will later be presented as evidence. None of these elements is rushed. The audience is allowed to assemble the picture, gradually experiencing the same slow realization that the family will eventually face. The result is a form of comic suspense that is rare in the series and all the more effective for its rarity. Performance after performance deepens the material. Buddy Ebsen's ability to remain completely kind while being systematically maneuvered is essential to the sequence's moral force. Max Baer Jr. continues to find new shades of innocence in Jethro's romantic misreadings. Irene Ryan's protective ferocity remains undiminished. Donna Douglas provides a baseline of uncalculating warmth. The actress playing Emmeline maintains the difficult balance between convincing surface and slight excess that allows the audience to see the performance without the family yet detecting it. The ensemble work is seamless. As the photographs accumulate and the recordings are secured, the blackmail plot moves from preparation to imminent execution. The cuckoo clock, once a comic emblem of rural eccentricity, has become the instrument of a modern confidence game. The family continues to live inside the story. They believe they are inhabiting a story of a homesick girl from Possum Ridge taken in by kin, while the audience watches the construction of an entirely different narrative. One designed for newspapers and leverage. The gap between those two stories is the space in which the series does some of its most interesting work. In the end, the unfolding of the blackmail plot is less about the cleverness of the con than about the character of the people being conned. The Clampetts open their home, offer their trust, and extend their protection because that is who they are. The series celebrates that openness even as it demonstrates its risks. In the tension between the family's sincerity and the newcomer's calculation, the Beverly Hillbillies once again finds both its comedy and its moral center. The cuckoo clock may be ticking toward scandal, but the heart of the household continues to beat with the same steady rhythm of loyalty, generosity, and unshakable identity that had always defined it. The sequences invite the audience to consider what it means to remain authentic in a world increasingly skilled at the performance of authenticity. Emmeline's success in counterfeiting the markers of rural identity speaks to the power of those markers even as it demonstrates their vulnerability. The Clampetts' failure to detect the fraud is not a failure of intelligence, it is the price of a value system that places trust above suspicion. The series does not resolve the tension neatly. It simply holds it up to the light, allowing laughter and concern to coexist and trusting the audience to recognize the deeper affirmation that runs beneath the surface of the plot. The entrance of Colonel Gaylord Mayhew Foxhall into the offices of the Commerce Bank marks the moment when the carefully prepared blackmail plot moves from private deception to open confrontation. In these early fifth-season episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies, the sequence that unfolds around the demand for $1 million stands as a masterfully sustained piece of comic tension, institutional satire, and character revelation. What the audience has watched assemble itself through cuckoo clock photography and staged modesties now arrives portfolio in hand to extract its price. Raymond Bailey's Mr. Drysdale is placed under extraordinary pressure. The Clampett fortune is placed in theoretical jeopardy, and the series is given an opportunity to examine the collision between rural honor and urban leverage with a clarity and comic precision that remain impressive decades later. Colonel Foxhall is introduced with the full ceremonial weight of a man who understands the power of presentation. His card, his title, his elaborate self-description as Colonel Gaylord Mayhew Foxhall at your service establish him at once as a figure of calculated Southern formality. The performance is a mirror image of the rural authenticity the Clampetts inhabit without effort. Where Jed's courtesy is instinctive, Foxhall's is strategic. Where Granny's fierceness is protective, his is predatory. The writing allows the audience to recognize the counterfeit immediately, while Mr. Drysdale, conditioned by years of dealing with the eccentric but fundamentally honest Clampetts, requires more time to grasp the nature of the threat. The opening exchange in Drysdale's office is a model of escalating revelation. Foxhall begins with the polite fiction that he has come on a matter of mutual financial interest. When Miss Jane is instructed to bring a deposit slip, the Colonel smoothly corrects the assumption he is not depositing, he is withdrawing. The line lands with perfect coolness. Raymond Bailey's reaction, confusion, shading rapidly into alarm, is played with the sweaty precision that made Drysdale one of television's great comic creations. The further clarification that the $1 million in question belongs to Jed Clampett raises the stakes to their maximum. The banker's identity is inseparable from the deposits he controls. Any threat to those deposits is a threat to the self. The presentation of the photographs constitutes the sequence's central coup de théâtre. Foxhall produces image after image designed to tell a single damning story: a wealthy older man imposing himself upon a vulnerable young woman who had sought only the sanctuary of the YWCA. The pictures are described with elaborate moral language, the sordid tale of a sweet, innocent country girl who was lured into the mansion of a Beverly Hills millionaire. The sanctity of her boudoir was brazenly invaded by this backwoods Bluebeard. The rhetoric is pure melodrama, and the series allows it to unfold at length so that the audience can savor both its absurdity and its potential effectiveness. In the mid-1960s, when the power of the photographic image to shape public reputation was already well established, and when the slightest suggestion of impropriety could destroy a public figure, the threat carries genuine weight. The writing does not underplay the danger, it simply surrounds it with the comic framework of Drysdale's mounting panic. Drysdale's first instinct is the conventional one. He threatens to call the police and denounces the scheme as out-and-out extortion and the old Badger game. Foxhall's response is a masterpiece of calm counter-pressure. He reminds the banker that Jed Clampett was once made a vice president of the institution for a day, a detail that transforms a potential victim into a potential institutional liability. The further suggestion of tomorrow's headlines, Commerce Bank officer in scandal, is delivered with the quiet confidence of a man who has prepared his ground thoroughly. The dummy newspaper he produces is both a comic prop and a genuine instrument of leverage. The series understood that in a culture increasingly mediated by images and headlines, the threat of exposure could be more powerful than any physical force. The moral comedy of the sequence resides in the gap between Drysdale's public responsibilities and his private calculations. His horror at the photographs is real. His concern for Jed's reputation is not entirely feigned. Yet the dominant note is the banker's terror at the possible loss of the Clampett fortune. When he weighs the options, the scale is weighted not by abstract justice but by the concrete reality of $60 million in deposits. Raymond Bailey plays this internal conflict with extraordinary skill. The character remains ridiculous, his voice climbs, his hands flutter, his eyes dart toward the door as if seeking escape, yet the ridiculousness never entirely erases the genuine pressure of the situation. The audience is invited to laugh at Drysdale's panic while still recognizing that the threat is substantive. Miss Jane's presence in the scene provides an essential counterpoint of shocked propriety. Nancy Culp registers each new revelation with the precise blend of moral outrage and professional alarm that defined the character. Her attempts to intervene are repeatedly overwhelmed by the force of Foxhall's prepared narrative and by Drysdale's growing desperation. The dynamic is familiar yet freshly effective. The competent professional woman of the city watching the carefully ordered world of the bank being rearranged by forces she cannot control. The broader cultural work of the extortion sequence is considerable. The Beverly Hillbillies had always examined the ways in which money distorts human relations. Here the examination is sharpened by the introduction of a professional predator who understands those distortions and seeks to exploit them. Foxhall does not threaten physical harm. He threatens reputation, institutional stability, and the public narrative that surrounds both. In the America of the mid-1960s, such threats were becoming increasingly sophisticated. The series meets them with a combination of comic exaggeration and clear-eyed observation, allowing the audience to see both the absurdity of the demand and the real power that underwrites it. The technical construction of the scene deserves attention. The writing allows Foxhall to control the tempo, producing photographs one by one, elaborating the story they supposedly tell and only then revealing the price of silence. Drysdale is kept perpetually off balance, his conventional responses anticipated and neutralized. The result is a form of comic suspense that is rare in the series and all the more effective for its rarity. The audience knows the photographs are manufactured. Drysdale does not. That disparity of knowledge generates both tension and laughter. As the demand for $1 million is formally presented, the sequence reaches its temporary climax. Foxhall's language remains elaborately courteous even as the content becomes nakedly predatory. The scars upon the soul of this sweet, simple maiden can be erased only by time and $1 million cash. The line is pure purple prose, and the series allows it to stand in all its excess so that the audience can enjoy the performance while still feeling the pressure it exerts. Drysdale's final flustered attempts to regain control only underscore how completely the initiative has passed to the blackmailer. Throughout these scenes, the ensemble playing remains exemplary. Raymond Bailey's Drysdale is a study in mounting panic tempered by residual cunning. The actor portraying Foxhall maintains the difficult balance between theatrical Southern formality and cold professional calculation. Nancy Culp's Miss Jane provides the necessary register of moral shock. The absent presence of the Clampetts themselves, Jed still unaware of the pictures, Granny still protective of the supposed girl from Possum Ridge, hovers over the sequence, reminding the audience of the human stakes involved. The extortion scene also invites reflection on the nature of the Badger game itself as a cultural form. The classic confidence scheme in which a woman and her accomplice manufacture evidence of sexual impropriety in order to extract money had a long history in American popular culture. By placing a version of that scheme at the center of a Beverly Hillbillies episode, the series connects its rural protagonists to a broader tradition of urban predation while still keeping the comedy rooted in character. The Clampetts' vulnerability is not portrayed as foolishness, it is the logical consequence of values that place trust above suspicion. The series continues to celebrate those values even as it demonstrates their risks. In the end, Colonel Foxhall's demand for $1 million is less about the money than about the collision of two incompatible ways of being in the world. On one side stands the calculated performance of injury and the leverage of manufactured images. On the other stands the Clampett family's uncalculated hospitality and the stubborn integrity that has always defined them. Mr. Drysdale, caught between those two forces, becomes the comic embodiment of institutional America trying to navigate a threat it only partially understands. The laughter that accompanies his panic is tempered by the recognition that the threat is real and that the family's open-heartedness has for the moment become a liability. The sequence leaves the audience in a state of productive suspense. The photographs exist. The demand has been made. The banker is cornered. Yet the essential nature of the Clampetts remains unchanged. They have not yet been asked to respond, but when the series makes clear, they will respond as themselves. In that assurance lies both the comedy and the moral center of the entire blackmail plot. The cuckoo clock may have done its work, the pictures may be damning, and the colonel may have prepared his ground with professional skill, but the heart of the household has not yet been heard from. When it speaks, the series suggests the carefully constructed narrative of scandal will face a force more powerful than any portfolio of manufactured evidence, the simple, stubborn, open-handed character of the Clampett family itself.